It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
I guess we better do the show. What? Can't hear you. Still can't hear you. Can't hear Jason. Nope, still can't hear him. Jason's mic is on now, I think. Yeah. Can you hear him? Can you hear him? Can you hear Jason Ross? Okay, we're all back in the studio for the first time in a month together. The group is back, the Three Musketeers. Good morning to all of ye.
I feel like it's been since like June.
Yeah, it literally has been. That is so unheard of. That's so weird. Between vacations, COVIDing, Las Vegas Summer League, other things. Yeah. Well, while Jay Mars is in here, because we want to figure everything out. I see what you're doing. Jay, I'm the only person who'll ever say this. Is it possible to zoom my camera to get all this stuff out, or would that not work? That's what he's trying to do.
Hey, that's what he's trying to do.
Hey, that's what he's trying to do. And let me know, because I can move. Poor Jay's got to come in and out of the studio every time to do it. I can move around too if you'd like. We're having fun with our camera setup because it's new. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Occasionally, you'll see an upside down Vlade Divac because here's the bad thing. I can actually reach my hand over and I can put things in front of Jason's new camera, which is great. Oh, gosh, we have a lot of stuff for you today. A lot of really cool feedback, and thank you all on yesterday's program.
Yes.
And I didn't know how to, it's almost like the whole Happy Memorial Day thing. Like, I didn't know how to, because I really enjoyed yesterday's show, but of course I didn't enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
Circumstance, but it was a great reflection.
Yes. It was a really cool celebration of Vince Scully. And thanks to all of you too that sent in even more audio throughout the evening, including, somebody wanted us to play the full 10 minutes of it was a game with Willie Mays and a brawl and all that Vin called. It was very, very cool.
Yeah, it was I think it was last night, maybe early evening. I can't remember what time, but one of the ESPNs, Ocho, I don't know which one.
The Och
aired the Gibson game.
Oh,
which obviously that's the big moment. But
yes.
I was watching earlier on as
Yeah.
Dave Stewart and Mickey Hatcher took him deep. But to hear Vince Scully and Joe Garagiola, and it was like, man,
yeah, I know.
It just sounded great.
Joe hasn't been with us in a while, right? I don't
think so either, but I don't know.
I think Joe, I want to say Joe might have passed in
2007.
Yes, something. I'm going to say, let's not make this our new game.
Yeah, no, that's not a fun game.
But I'm going to say 2004.
Okay.
Can you say 07?
I don't know.
Oh, 2016.
Oh, sorry.
He was 90.
Good for Joe.
Not bad.
Great voice.
Oh, wonderful voice.
Distinct.
Just a great, one of the better athlete turned commentators. We got a lot to get to today, and we appreciate you. You can go to Sactown 1140's YouTube page and say hello, and I am contractually obligated to ask you to give thumbs up, or MC in the chat room will get very angry. He has become our thumbs up police.
I like that, though.
I do, too.
And every time he comments, it gets 5 more.
I appreciate it 100%. It's not hard. It's just one click, and I don't know what it does, but it makes Jay Mars happy, and so that makes me happy. You can call us 1-800-920-1140. We're gonna put this in the news, but I can't. It's all the rage here on the top floor. Coming fall 2022, the MILF.
Explain.
The MILF is coming to Sacramento. It's so much better. I think you got to. Oh, there we go. The MILF. So
The MILF.
the MILF.
Wasn't that a show? Didn't you host a show like that? What was it called?
It's called the MILF.
The MILF.
The MILF. MLF. Major League Football.
Oh, I see why.
Major League Football is coming to Sacramento.
Wait, Sacramento's involved?
Yeah.
Oh. I like the odds of a new football league succeeding.
I'm like torn here. Here's why, because I just want to spend all day just ripping the hell out of this thing. I mean, they're playing at Heart Health Park, and we, of course, have friends over there. And I also don't, anything being tried in Sacramento, I instinctively am like a big fan of, right? But like, you have to be fair is fair is fair. Let me be clear. Would love the league to work.
Yeah.
But it has about as much. Let me give you an idea of the odds, because we're going to be talking betting today.
Yes.
The odds of the MILF lasting longer than 2 years and having any form of success whatsoever.
You're going to?
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm trying to be nice.
Okay.
There's literally, no joke, literally better odds of me being cast in the new Avengers movie as one of the heroes while doing a Colgate toothpaste endorsement.
Okay.
For shiny, white, beautiful teeth.
Oh.
Yeah, like the odds are better. I get that opportunity. 100%. Me being the new Avenger dad bod.
But I mean, you saw the logo. It has the flag and everything.
Hold on, I'm wondering if okay, I don't want to go down. Now I'm wondering what powers dad bod would have as an Avenger, but that's for the podcast. I know that we can go down a whole road on that. Like the power of timeout.
He has an internal temperature when the food is on his Traeger to know exactly what it's done without even having to check.
I can control thermostats all over the world.
But I mean, the city's listed. What could go wrong, Dave?
Yeah. What are some of those cities?
New York. I mean, power.
Great.
When the Giants and Jets struggle, everybody turns their attention to the New York MILFs.
Yeah. Well, everyone also, John on Twitter and everybody on this floor, the Tom Maley thought he had a great idea, but John had already come up with it, or whoever it is, that we should be the Sacramento Cougars. I don't know the connection there. I don't get it. But
I think everybody should be the Cougars.
Yeah, it should be
Connecticut Cougars,
right?
Rochester Cougars.
Oh, isn't Portland in it?
No, I don't think so. We got in the Central.
Yeah,
we've got West Virginia, North Carolina, and Kentucky. In the South, Alabama, South Carolina, and Arkansas.
Okay.
In the North, in the Western Conference,
Conference,
Oakland.
Yeah.
Sacramento.
Okay.
And Utah.
Oh.
Central is Iowa, Oklahoma, and Dakota.
Just Dakota.
Yeah, and then
North and South.
The South is Dallas, Houston, and El Paso. I'm really thinking of investing.
I like the Sacramento Stiflers.
The Cougars, the Stiflers. How about the lowered expectations? The rebounds.
Ooh, good one.
The instant families. Brady Bunch style. The Manhattans, because I think that's a popular drink. I'm trying to think.
No, that'd be more Cosmos.
The Cosmos. New York Cosmos.
There you go.
Yeah, that's been done.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Like, there's no chance this works.
I think they should just form what would the Sacramento name be can we combine all of our former football teams here?
The Mountain Surge?
Mountain Miners.
The Golden Surge Miners.
And Attack. Sack Attack.
Surge
Mountain Miners Attack.
Surge Mountain Miners Attack?
Nights.
No, that's soccer.
Sounds like a low-budget horror movie.
Respect your champion soccer nights.
Is the MILF going to be broadcast on the Spice Channel?
No, it'll be here probably.
Spice Channel's still around? Asking for a friend?
Yes. No. I mean, I'm not sure.
What's the Spice Channel?
Huh?
You ever play that camera?
You ever play that game on DirecTV? If you have DirecTV, the guide, I don't know where you go through the guide and there's like
fun with titles,
right?
I say titles.
Katie and I used to do that all the time after the show. We'd go through because they don't censor the titles,
right?
So it's like, what's one I could use? Like Stepdad's in Trouble 3.
Yeah,
right. But that's like very
golden blonde.
The Ladybirds.
Don't start.
Sacramento Ladybirds.
Don't get started, please.
Stand by he.
Don't do it.
This is why I said do this in the news segment.
What?
This
It's
would have been
Bill.
so.
It's-
I know, but it would have been so much better with the music behind it.
We can do it again.
We can sing.
The mascots for this thing.
You sure you wanted to be back in studio?
I think we need to ask
I
the
think he's
powers.
done.
Yeah, he's over
He's
it.
done at 6:10.
I'm just thinking of the sponsor.
Like
Told the
what?
MILF.
You know that wine's going to be a big part of this whole thing.
Is it?
The Arkansas book clubs.
The book clubs. I thought you were saying something else at
No.
Anyway, show's over.
I
We'll
like.
see you guys tomorrow.
We've been
Try
back
again.
in studio for 11 minutes because he started with on Golden Blonde. It's Jason's fault. We're 11 minutes on the show.
Are the showers going to be golden in the locker
No,
rooms?
God, you don't send him your letters. I had nothing to do with that. No, Kevin, that will not be our team name. We'll take a break. I told you we should do this in the news, dude.
Yeah.
This is a
That
bad
was
decision.
your idea.
The Sacramento MILFs. We'll take a break. When we come back, hey, we've got NFL football.
Yeah.
Not
Wait.
really.
Oh.
No, not really. The MILF might have more of a quality football product in their debut than tonight's Jacksonville Raiders game. Well, Jacksonville, Las Vegas game.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Speaking of the NFL, apparently they're not done with Deshaun Watson. Move on. We will talk about all this and leading off next.
Sactown Sports 1140 is broadcasting live on YouTube.
To me, it's a must watch.
Check out the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Rami Show. Plus, get Let's do it. It's time for Leading Off. Brought to you by Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge, where for over 60 years, their name means a great deal in Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovedodge.com. Here's cut number one.
Well, this is a huge and significant step for the National Football League field, and Roger Goodell now will determine whether he or one of his designees will hear this appeal. The NFLPA is likely to take this decision to court and sue the NFL over it. And so what looked like a story that could be coming to a close when Justice Sue L. Robinson issued her 6-game suspension and written opinion on Monday now may just be beginning.
That's Adam Schefteroni.
That's fun.
Yeah, you heard what he said. NFL's appealing the 6-game suspension that the judge threw down on Deshaun Watson. They want a tougher penalty under the personal conduct policy, despite the fact that the third party that they agreed to laid out a suspension. Now Roger Goodell's stepping in, and he'll determine who's going to hear the appeal. And under the collective bargaining agreement, he has the option to consider the appeal himself or can appoint someone to do that. So the drama continues here. There is one thing I'm wondering about as soon as I heard this. Does this not crack open the door? Does this kick the door wide open for Deshaun Watson to start week 1?
Oh, what? Well, explain.
Because if they're appealing the punishment, then that means there has not been a punishment levied. And if Deshaun Watson's camp then files a restraining order against the NFL saying you haven't settled this yet, you're appealing this. Therefore, there's no suspension. It's now in limbo.
Wow.
I can play.
There's an interesting argument for that, but also if the belief is that the league wants it to be as much as a year.
Yeah.
And let's say Watson gets 5 games in, and then they say it's like, do you want to run into next year if you're Watson's camp? Or do you think you're going to win with the 6? I mean, this whole thing is.
We also have that money in that contract to deal with, too.
True.
Right. And that's what they say. A lot of this has to do with the money that the NFL. And by the way, I'm not going to praise the NFL for anything, but hopefully, and if this is the way they're going, good, that the thing that's really sticking to them even more than the games is a lack of monetary discipline. So they're going to push for a pretty hefty fine that will actually hurt his pocketbook rather than the $400,000.
Yeah, it's just bizarre that, the league, even though this was more backed and supported by the NFLPA, wanted the independent arbiter. They get that. Now they're upset why are they upset? Honestly, because of public opinion.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
And this is the thing. And I'm not saying,
right.
Count 10 of the things that, the NFL just kind of they just moved on.
Yeah.
But this is the one.
This is the one
that you're going to dig in now and say, you know what? Not cool. We think this should be a lot longer as a league.
It's so cowardly, too, because they let the decision get out there, and then they sat back for 3 days, and they watched every show, opinion poll, everything, our Twitter poll the other day.
Actually, they looked at that one
That's
first.
actually what did it.
Like it started 19-0.
90% ended up saying it wasn't enough.
Right.
And it's stuff like that, the public opinion, to your point, and then Goodell was like, well, maybe we can, you just get the feeling that they're more interested in public opinion than doing the right thing. And by the way, I think the right thing is for him to get suspended for more games, but their motivations, never trust the NFL.
Well, also because when they did it themselves, no one ever seemed to like the suspension length. So let's get it out of our hands.
Right.
Oh, now we don't like it, and the public doesn't, so let's fight back.
Now we can step in and be the heroes. Number 2.
Cut number 2.
What I'm not going to do is say Derek is not going to be a Hall of Famer, because at the end of the day, I believe this is not putting any expectations or any added pressure on him, because, he puts all that type of pressure on himself because of what he expects every time he touches the field.
Let's go, baby. NFL Football Hall of Fame game is here.
Some are saying, and this is a very small group, but some are saying must win for the Raiders.
I think it is absolutely. You got to set the tone early, and you're playing the Jaguars.
Yeah, if you don't win, you were in the playoffs last year. You've got to back that up and have a better year and go to the Super Bowl.
Pretty much over. And by the way, the Jags, I believe you said, are sitting Trevor Lawrence.
It's rest. It's a rest game.
Is it load manager?
Yes. Yeah. He's still eyeing the MILF League.
There's all that hair and exactly. So we've got that game for you. You're welcome. 5:00 is your kickoff right here on Sactown Sports 1140. And here we go. The Raiders favored by 2.5.
I like that.
I will, like many others, I will be cheeks on couch at 5 watching the game.
Big bet.
Because I'm more excited for the announcers, the graphics, the sound, the feel, and all that. And then, the first series, maybe we'll get a Carr Adams hookup if they're even playing. I don't know.
7-yard catch.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you treating this like a game, though? Because you are famous for your NFL cuisine.
Yeah, I am.
So this is just a regular dinner night. You're not doing any football traditional. What is your cream cheese? And
there goes the rest of the segment.
No, it actually
is this for the news, Jay?
No, because to be honest, I will be listening.
Busting out the banquets out of the freezer.
I will be listening to the game on Sactown Sports 1140. I will not be at home. I will be driving to Wheatland.
Oh, what are you seeing?
Who's at Wheatland tonight?
My wife got us concert tickets as a birthday present.
Wait, okay, we need some hints. Are you we know you like your country.
Oh, this is not a country band.
Okay.
Give me the umbrella genre.
When were they hottest?
90s.
Alanis Morissette's not in Wheatland. She's
Seriously?
in Wheatland?
Tonight.
You got that on the first? Wow.
Garbage opening for Alanis Morissette.
Wait, who?
Wait, why is garbage?
I'm only happy when
I
it
thought you were
rains.
saying it was.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I thought legit garbage.
Yeah.
Garbage is opening for Alanis Morissette. Yeah, it's the jagged little. No,
That's ironic.
Wheatland?
Wheatland.
Oh, God, I thought she would have not been in Wheatland.
I wish she wasn't in Wheatland. Heavily. It's going to be 104 there.
1 to 10. I can tell your excitement meter is really close to 10.
My excitement meter would be 10 if it wasn't in Wheatland and it wasn't 104 at 5 p.m.
Okay.
And the fact that the only reason I can, like, I looked at both Garbage and Alanis Morissette set lists.
It still sounds
and
funny.
I did the timing. So we're going to try to arrive a little bit later.
Oh, you're going to miss out on the garbage.
I don't care about garbage.
No, the garbage.
What I don't want to do is be in the hot sun for 4.5 hours.
Just 3.5.
Yeah. Whatever.
Also, there are probably going to be a lot of women at that concert tonight. I'm just saying, when You Ought to Know comes on, that seems like scary time.
Are you rushing the stage?
I'm crowd surfing.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to sing a duet of the song Mary Jane with her live on stage. That's a deep cut. Sorry. By the way, speaking of MILF, number 3.
Cut number 3.
It's been a really exciting moment for me, for my family, a really big part of my career. I'm happy to join this team. I mean, I've been seeing this team since day one and this season, and they've been doing a great job playing good baseball, and I'm more than excited to join
The Slam
The audio
Diego
cut out.
Padres make their debut. 9-1 is your final. Juan Soto's first at bat for the Padres. He walked. And then Brandon Drury, another brand new acquisition, promptly hits a grand slam. 5 runs in the first for San Diego. They had 1 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th. They are undefeated since acquiring Juan Soto. Blake Snell, 6 innings with an earned run. They are now the story of baseball right now. The San Diego Padres are the baseball top story right now.
Another undefeated team.
No.
Since the trade deadline, the Los Angeles Dodgers, since acquiring the great Joey Gallo, have not lost a baseball game.
And now have baseball's best record, don't they?
Yes. Also, the Giants, since the trade,
losing.
the Giants, since the trade deadline, have not won a baseball game.
They didn't want to.
Oh, they're going for Victor Wembanyama?
They are absolutely in the Wembanyama sweepstakes.
Okay.
100.
Well done.
1,000%.
Now you got to be, I mean, this is tank commander.
Huge.
You got to be thrilled about this.
I am ready for that tankaroni and cheese. Let's go, baby.
They better start losing way more.
I don't even think the Giants are trying to tank, though. It's just kind of happening.
I hope to see the entire Giants roster at Alanis Morissette tonight. I am a huge, huge fan of that. Yeah, listen, go Padres. I'm adopting the Padres for the rest of the year.
Wow.
It's the only thing I'm gonna.
You're disgusting.
It's the only thing that's gonna make me care about baseball. My team has no chance. I hate the Dodgers. I have no hate against the Padres. They're not doing anything wrong to me. So number one way for me to enjoy this season would be for my team to win. That's out. Number two way for me to enjoy this season would be for the Dodgers to be caused pain.
Okay. That's possible.
And the Padres seem to me to be the best way for them to be caused pain. So let's go Pods. Slam Diego, baby. Somebody get me a hat.
Hey, Giants and Dodgers today, day game.
Yeah.
Get those Giants at the Jagged Little Pill show with
Just
you.
get them out there. You got enough time
Wheatland.
to play the game and get to Wheatland.
Yeah.
Don't even play the game. Season's over now that Darren Ruff's gone. I had no interest. We'll take a break. Hey, someone, perhaps one of you two, thinks the Kings are going to win the finals. Now, we had one like this before.
Yeah.
This is different.
A little more confident.
They're a lot more confident. We'll give you the deets, as the kids say. Next.
You want more Kings coverage? Sactown Sports 1140's giving it to you.
You'll be watching and thinking, man, like, I guess Keegan, he's maybe not as good today. And then you look up and he's got, 12 and 8 and it's, the second quarter and he is just so calm, so efficient.
I think it's absolutely what Sacramento needs. I think there's this sense that something special is starting to fall into place.
Log on to SactownSports.com for exclusive content. SactownSports.com. with Jason Ross.
The only local sports show in the morning.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
Coming up in 15 minutes. It's dunk year time. NBA.com. They're doing their dunks of the year. So we're going to talk Kings. And
Kings
dunks.
dunkers?
Yeah.
Dunkson?
I'm really curious, and I feel like unless, like, we haven't talked about any of our thoughts. We didn't do that pre-show on purpose. I feel like unless Jay does one of his things where he purposely wants to go out of the box, I think we might all three have the same dunk. Maybe not.
Okay.
We'll see.
I'm not saying.
So get ready with that. This came in. Remember back in mid-July, you may remember, a fan placed a $10,000 bet on the Kings to win the NBA Finals this year. That would get you a $7.5 million payout. Well, then yesterday, we get the news that a fan, it's the same fan apparently, or should we say better? I don't know if it's a fan.
Yeah, it's true.
Might not be a fan at all.
Investor.
Yeah. We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
$10,000 he or she bet at Caesar Sports for the Kings to win the title. This is at 750 to 1 odds. Then an $8,000 bet at 350 to 1 odds. Bets would win a combined $10.3 million. Lots of questions here. Let's start with this. And this is where we need like a, hey, everybody, come to my website and you can get the perfect lock winners every Friday, Monday Night Football, free. And go to the website and call the number and free. We need one of those guys.
Okay.
Because here's my first question. Why would you bet 10 grand at 750 to 1 and then 8 grand at 350 to 1 and not just 10 grand or 18 grand at 750 to 1? Why would you then turn around and bet almost the same bet for less than half the odds?
It doesn't make any sense. None.
At all.
Unless there was some sort of casino. Hey, we'll do the 750 at 10,000, but you can't make that entire bet. We're going to have to cut that in half.
Okay.
Then find another casino.
Find another casino.
Because those things are going to continue to be built because of bets like this.
Spread it around.
Yeah. Or stick with just the 10. You'll be okay betting the 10,000 at 750 to 1 because it would be one of the biggest miracles ever.
There's something here, and somebody smarter is going to know. This has to be a thing where somebody's doing mathematics and saying, okay, I need to for my taxes at the end of the year, I have to show more of a loss.
Right.
So the math works. I'm going to make this weird bet that I'm going to lose, but yet also could win, and they'll even out so that I can, I need $18,000 more of a loss. It's got to be, because my question was better chance of success. This better with this bet or Major League Football in Sacramento in the fall?
Are the odds the same?
Odds are the same.
I mean, honestly, the of either one succeed.
Okay, let me make it really specific.
What's success for the?
That's what I was going to say because I didn't define it. All right, here's the odds: 750 to 1. The Sacramento Kings win the 2023 title. 750 to 1 odds. Major League Football operates 2 full seasons in Sacramento.
Because I would say the Kings. I
would agree with you. And there's the other thing that you can allow yourself to think if you really want to have fun with this story, because odds are is just somebody being silly or whatever has 18. They're like, oh, how can I lose 18 grand? I could light it on fire. No, let's bet it on the Kings. Or here's the fun part. Does somebody know something? That's the fun part.
Right.
Does somebody know something?
But what would they know?
Kevin Durant's coming to the Kings. I don't know. I don't know.
Let's pretend that, and
Sure.
we wouldn't know what left.
Sure.
Odds would go down, like better.
Yeah.
To win the whole thing.
I think
he was with Kyrie and Harden the year before. With Kyrie, I know Ben Simmons didn't ultimately like. They haven't won a series.
I think what it is it's more if you get Kevin Durant on this team, then all of a sudden 750 to 1 is like really good value.
Sure.
Because are they going to win the whole thing?
$100.
Right. Will they win it all with Kevin Durant? I mean, even let me ask you this. And here's the other thing. You got to give things up for Kevin Durant.
Right.
But okay, and this couldn't happen. So we get it. If the Kings could add Kevin Durant to this team, and Kevin Durant played 82 games, and they didn't have to give anything off their roster up.
Oh, wow.
It was all like draft picks.
Yeah. Much better chance.
Where do they finish?
Yeah.
If you're betting, you got to bet where they finish in the Western Conference.
Top 4.
Top 4?
Mm-hmm.
That's about what I would say,
Yeah.
4 or 3.
In this other scenario, though, when would you, if this was you, when would you allow yourself like to get excited? Not at, hey, look, they're 3-0. I mean, you'd have to get into playoff rounds.
Yes.
Rounds.
100%.
Like, oh man, they were a 6 seed and they got through the first round.
Yep.
Awesome. It takes 16 playoff wins. You're far away still.
You are very far away.
At 10, what is it? 10.3 million.
I think I'm allowing myself to get excited like at the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Maybe a little early.
But you know what? Then if they're that like, oh man, this team is good. That's going to happen.
Yeah, if they come out and they have a Phoenixy or even a Memphisy type of year, and all of a sudden 750 to 1 is the greatest value in sports.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if this happened, but same kind of logic. Phoenix had missed the playoffs for 10 straight years. Did someone bet like this on the Suns?
I got to think
after the bubble.
Yeah, after the 7-0 bubble.
And then you go, hey, and they were 2-0 in the finals, 2 wins away from winning it all.
Oh, I know. They couldn't even make it back. From the 209, I'll bet 50 Cent placed those. Major League Football. Someone wants to know if Zach Wilson's mom will be the commissioner.
Good poll.
That's a wonderful. A lot of Zach Wilson takes in here. Blake wants to remind us on the YouTube chat that there was the guy who bet on the Buccaneers to win the Super Bowl before they were ever linked to Brady, and he won millions of dollars.
Same guy?
If it's the same guy, I'm actually excited.
Yeah.
But I just literally do not know. I mean, it's almost a fun exercise when you want to go down the road of what does this person know? It's like, okay, literally, who could come to the Kings that would instantly make them a finals value?
Right.
And Durant certainly probably won. Giannis.
Yeah.
It's not many.
And obviously this person has money, right? Throwaway money. Do we not know about it? Did they bet on the Pistons? They bet on the Rockets, Thunder? I mean, or is it like your point? Hey, what do they know? What do they think about this Kings? Maybe they see value like, hey, there's an outside chance. Obviously at 750 to 1, it's a long shot.
Sure.
Considering longest playoff drought, never made the finals here in Sacramento. And that's to win the whole thing, man.
To win the entire thing. Yeah. I don't know, man. I want to know what it's weird. It's just absolutely weird. Incidentally, just in case all of you were wondering, Harrison Barnes, Rashawn Holmes, Terrence Davis, right? What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And Alex Len for Kevin Durant works.
Okay. I'm sure the Nets would I'm listening. Who says no? Not the Nets.
And I know they can't do this because the Herder move, but let's say they solve the Herder move. That's your trade, right? That's what you're how many future first round? 8?
All of them.
Do you think that and 8 first round unprotected picks get you Kevin Durant?
Yes.
Do you think that and 5 Sacramento Kings unprotected first round picks gets Kevin Durant? No. So it'd have to be somewhere like 6. Is 6 your floor?
Sure. I'm just throwing out a number.
Well, because I was trying to put together a trade where the Kings aren't really, I mean, no offense to Rashawn or Harrison or Terrence or Alex, but where they're not really giving, like you're replacing Harrison Barnes with
the one starter you're giving up is Barnes, but it's Kevin Durant.
You're rolling out De'Aaron Fox, probably Malik Monk, Kevin Durant, Keegan Murray, and DeMontis Sabonis. I mean, Not saying they're winning the finals. Yeah. I'm not saying they're not a strong team, though.
If you could get like a 10-minute heads up, do you put 18,000 down?
If I knew that trade was coming, okay, that's a great question. We'll finish up on. If Monty McNair called me, he's like, "Hey, we're doing this thing.
I'm giving you a heads up.
Giving you a heads up for me and Woj talk.
Call your friend.
Call your friend." I wouldn't put 18 grand down because my wife wouldn't let me. But I would put the maximum amount that my wife would let me put down on that at those odds, just because.
Yeah.
Because I feel like at some point during the year.
What's that number you think she would be comfortable with?
Something in the very low hundreds. Okay. The super low.
It's like 100.
Definitely in the triple figures.
Yes.
The very low triple figures.
Are you counting the cents?
Well, yeah. We'll take a break. NBA.com's doing their thing with the dunks. Dunks of the year. What's the best dunk in Kings history? And we got a Mount Dunk more on the way. So much more. Fun exercise. Get your thinking caps on. We're right back.
Breaking news, the latest happenings with your favorite teams.
You ever wonder about what the heck all these kids are doing on the computers all the time?
Stay up to date with all of it by following us on Instagram and Twitter.
Excuse me, gentlemen, a little update for you.
At Sactown 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
On Sactown Sports 1140.
Stand by. This may be a half Dave, half Jason and Jay segment.
Talking baseball?
Last night was enchilada night at the house.
Oh, well.
It's not working out.
Well, I'm here if you need me. You know,
I mean, it's working out.
You know, if anybody can sympathize with you, do you need me to come in there and rub the tummy?
Oof. I'm sweating.
Ooh.
Hey,
The sweats are the onset.
Is it the cold sweats?
You have the meats.
Not as many as I did 20 minutes ago.
Oh,
yeah.
Lord.
So this is good morning, everyone.
Seriously.
NBA.com is doing their dunks. I really need to stop using. You know what? I need to do something for charity here. Let's pick a good charity. I was thinking about this yesterday during the show. It's really becoming a thing with me. It's bothering me. I need to start finding myself a very small amount of money because it's going to add up every time I use as a pause. I'm crutching that lately. It's really becoming a crutch with me. I'm just be in the middle of a thought and be like, and that drives me nuts as a listener. And now it's going to drive everybody more nuts now that I've pointed it out.
And this air check was brought to you by Capital Casino. Dave, back to you.
Knew you were crazy, but now I can see. Welcome back. NBA.com doing their dunks of the year. So naturally, let's make this about the Kings.
Yes.
Jason, you've listed some questions here. Let's go to the first. What is the best dunk in Kings history? Now, I want to do a thing here because I feel like we might all three come down on the same side. Maybe we won't.
No.
We're not gonna because of you.
That's fine. I'll be the correct answer in the room. I don't have a problem with that.
Is yours Terry Tyler?
No.
No, it's gonna be something.
By the way, no dunk contest dunks. That's not allowed.
I agree. Okay.
In-game dunks only.
I'd like to propose some addendums here. Number one, no dunk contest. Number two, you don't get bonuses because you're short.
That's fair.
Okay. Number three.
Also, you shouldn't get penalized because you're tall.
That's exactly.
I mean, there's big men that generally doesn't look as good.
Totally agree with you. And
Also,
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say number three. This is about your dunks as a king.
Yes.
So Vince Carter is not qualified for this contest. As a king.
You have to wear a King's uniform.
Right. And who's the best Kings dunker? Right?
Or best dunk. Are we doing?
Right now we're doing best dunk.
Right.
And then we'll do dunkers after that.
Gotcha. So for me, it's Ronnie Price, Carlos Boozer.
Oh.
Right? No.
I think me and Jason might be on the same one.
Really?
Jason?
Now, there's an honorable mention here I'll wait on.
Oh, no. I think the best dunk in team history, Jason, I bet you agree with me.
You say it, and I'm going to have the initials right here.
Yeah.
Gerald Wallace on knockbar against the Rockets.
Really?
When he ended his career, essentially.
Yes. Not Gerald's, but
that was a hell of a dunk.
That was better than the Price dunk. I think the Price dunk is great, but I think the real reason why everyone loves the Price dunk so much is because it was on Boozer,
That's
who
part
nobody
of it.
liked.
That's like KJ on Olajuwon. I mean,
yes,
it's not the same.
Boozer and Olajuwon, same player,
but
basically.
it's the same type of thing. Like dunking, part of it has to be if you dunk on someone.
Which is what Gerald Wallace did.
Well, right, but Gerald Wallace on knockbar over Lil Ronnie Price. So
it's a better dunk.
Okay,
I would go with that as well.
So I'm the outlier. I
Yeah,
did not
you're
think
the
so.
odd
It's a great dunk.
I thought you and I would be Ronnie Price, to be honest.
Price is 2 to me.
Honorable mention, Derek Williams on Blake Griffin.
That was pretty good.
And remember, here's the thing people forget about that dunk. He dunked on Blake Griffin. Then they called some weird foul on the floor, and the Kings had to take it out from the side. And he immediately dunked on Blake Griffin.
I thought you would say they turned it over.
Yeah, he did it twice in a row. And Derek Williams was not good at a lot of things, but dunking was something he was really, really good at.
Yes.
I'm sure there's other.
There's a Tyreek dunk I remember against San Antonio. I think he posterized Gary Neal and just one-handed just threw down on him. That one sticks out.
Someone pointing out Jim Jackson over Sean Bradley. I don't remember.
I don't remember that either. I mean, there's a lot of
Rudy Gay over Ibaka.
I do remember that one. Now, in Kings history, if we were to make him out dunk more.
Oh, Paul actually has a really good honorable mention. You know I don't like to say anything positive about Paul. No. I was at this game. Walt Williams' 1994 360 on a breakaway had Arco lit.
90. What was your reaction? Goo goo?
Yes.
94?
Well, thank you for calling me young.
I'm just saying.
Goo-goo.
Hate agreeing with Paul.
Did you fill your diaper in excitement? You probably did, actually.
Yes.
It was
a lot of
that could have been last year in the game. Dunkers. So Gerald Wallace. Right?
Yes,
that's
he's on my mount.
Get this out of the way. Gerald Wallace.
Doesn't Derek Williams have to be there?
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, he really did nothing, but he was a fantastic.
He was a wonderful dunker.
Ben McLemore, I thought, was a great dunker.
I would not put him there.
Wow, you hate Ben McLemore.
Well, I felt like Ben McLemore, his misses were bad. Like he missed a lot of dunks.
Yeah, nobody threw down a miss quite like Ben. That's a fair point. I feel like that should count for something.
Here's one that I struggle with. Chris Webber had a ton of dunks.
But he was a power dunker.
But wasn't really a dunker. Like in the sense of like you didn't see a lot of flair with his dunks. He just dunked. Like there was somewhere he went under the hoop and like, you know, did the whole like Larry Bird reverse dunk that one time. And there was some, but there was
a couple poster dunks too.
There wasn't a lot of, that's why I struggle with it, because he probably had arguably the most important, he's the most important dunker in history.
I feel like when I was a kid, if this player scored, it was only on dunks was Coswell.
You know who else was kind of like that? Speaking of, if we're going back generations, was Otis Thorpe. I always felt like Otis Thorpe. Everything. Same with Terry Tyler, Henry Turner. Like I remember their dunks.
Terry Tyler was in the actual dunk contest. I feel like he should at least be an honorable mention.
Well, and a lot of times I think it's the guys that are like 6'3" to 6'6" that jump high. I mean, there's more sizzle to it. But Cousins had. I mean, he dunked on people a lot.
Can I throw a name out there and tell me if it counts? Spud Webb?
I mean, the thing with Spud is like his best, you know, any time Spud ever dunked, you were like, oh my God, but it was because he was 4'3".
And there's a lot of dunk contest stuff.
Right.
But he did dunk in games. I remember watching him dunk in games.
But
it didn't happen often, but when it did, to Jason's point, like everyone lost their mind.
But was the only reason anyone lost their mind was because Spud, that's why I said in the beginning, was because Spud was tiny. Yes. I'm not disrespecting what he did. It's insane.
Dude, tiny people dunking is awesome.
But didn't we start out with, and you agreed to, you don't get bonus points for being short?
That was best dunk. Now we're on Mount Dunk Board.
But
Maurice Evans?
Mo Evans had hops.
Good pull.
Nice.
You know, a lot of times, you know who had incredible attempts? Because sometimes it was like the misses, like McLemore.
Yeah.
Damian Jones.
Yes, he did.
Like sometimes he would you're way too far away.
Yeah.
And he would almost like try to throw it in.
Yes.
And I go, if that went in, that has been the best dunk I've ever seen.
You know who is a secretly, when they dunk, it's always really fun, is De'Aaron. De'Aaron is a really good dunker.
You know, the thing too is that you almost could classify him as a power dunker too.
Yeah. No, he rips the rim when he dunks.
That dunk, that putback in Miami, to me was a signature moment.
That to me is also a honorable mention for best dunk. That was awesome.
Rudy Gay was a good dunker.
Rudy Gay was
just the long arms. And
I remember when Dennis Hobson came in, I was really excited too, because that dude could dunk.
And the names.
And the name
just worked.
Dennis Hobson. The PGA versus the LIV tournament. It's getting more entertaining, that tournament happening in the courtroom, because now 11 players, including a lefty, are getting in court against their old employer. Let's get into this. Let's talk about Harold Turner. Somebody says, let's get into that next.
Check out the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars in the Hall of Fame game this Thursday on Sactown Sports 1140, immediately following the Oakland A's game
on your home for the NFL.
Sactown Sports 1140. It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross. And the apparently tough to offend with exceptions.
Yeah, we found the
Jay
button.
Marsh, we found the button. Big brown button. Welcome back.
But stuck.
It's stuck. It's clogged up. By the way, I forgot to mention this in the last segment. Friend of the show, Iman Shumpert, is in the news. Iman was arrested on felony marijuana possession charges at the DFW airport in Texas over the weekend. He was traveling to L.A. Saturday, according to documents, when he was stopped after TSA agents found a sizable amount of a green leafy substance inside a backpack. Could have been basil.
Yeah.
He admitted, well, I guess it could, because he admitted the backpack contained marijuana while speaking with airport officers and asked if he could still make his flight. He was trying to place his meet his daughter in L.A. He was then arrested. While searching his belongings, officers also found a Glock magazine with more than a dozen 9mm rounds. They took him for safekeeping. According to the report, police estimated Iman had about 6.12 ounces of marijuana. That's just this side of half a pound. He could face a jail sentence of up to 2 years or a $10,000 fine. I mean, listen, it's a longer story, and quite frankly, I don't want to get into politics of legalization and this and that, whatever. I don't want to get in trouble. I will just say this. There are laws.
Mm-hmm.
I love Iman. I do. I love him to death. And I hope he, has to pay a fine or something. I hope it's whatever his punishment, I hope it's very minor. Bring a half a pound of weed to the airport in your backpack, bro. 6 ounces. I don't care. Maybe the weed sucks in Texas. I don't know. and you 6 ounces. Well, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. He was leaving Texas for LA. Never mind. So that doesn't work. He was going to California. 6 ounces.
Yeah.
In your back. It's almost like I'm not going to say you deserve to get caught. You're looking to get caught.
Oh, for sure.
Come on, dude.
You're not sneaking that through. You've got it.
I'm not in the business in morning radio where kids might be listening of putting out tips on how to smuggle drugs in your luggage.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to think top 10 is not throw 6 ounces of stinky weed in your backpack.
Right.
You just think you're going to go through the little TSA checkpoint, throw your backpack through, your shoes are off. You got your TSA pre-check.
Yeah, in pre-check, you don't have to take your shoes off.
Yeah, right. That's true. And oh, hey, what's this leafy substance? Oh, it's 6 ounces of weed. I mean,
It's salad.
I'm not going to be exact on this, but let me think in my head, because 8 ounces is a half a pound. 6.12 is all, listen, you're doing well there. I would say that's probably the equivalent of 3. And again, nerds, don't get on me here. I want to say, just so people can get a visualization of how much it is, I want to say it's somewhere between 2 and 3 freezer Ziploc bags full.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Come on, man. Maybe 1 or 2.
Maybe not freezer.
Just come on, man. Anyways, so he's going to be in court, as are Phil Mickelson and 10 others, as they have filed a suit against the PGA because they want to compete in the FedEx Cup playoffs. Playoffs. I think if the smartest thing the PGA could do right now at this point is fire Jay Monahan, their commissioner. He could not have handled this worse.
Yeah, but they've got to worry about what's in front of them, and that's this. What's their
battle?
Yeah, what's their retaliation here? Their battle, their win. Well, their win, I guess, is to stay locked in and keep those guys away. And maybe this other tour at some point runs out of funds, and those other guys come back, or they just expire and don't play golf anymore.
I think it was somewhere around 100,000 people watched the final round over the weekend of the LIV Tour stop in Bedminster. 100,000. That's like a repeat of lacrosse on ESPN3 type numbers. Lawyers representing the suspended players believe the tour's bans on players who join the LIV Golf Tour are vastly strengthened if the ban encompasses not only PGA Tour events, but also the 4 majors, which are organized by separate governing bodies. Quote, the tour is aware that if it can foreclose LIV golf players from having access to these events, or even create an incredible doubt about whether participation in LIV golf will end a player's chances of playing in those events, LIV Golf will find it prohibitively difficult to sign and sustain a critical mass of players to field a competitive elite level tour. Well, what I wonder here, the natural thing, since they have so much money, could the LIV Golf Tour go after the 4 majors and say, hey guys, how much money is it going to take for you guys to become, to open
LIV
up to us,
members,
or
yeah.
LIV members? Exactly. Just turn it around. Many of the players that left the PGA Tour for LIV Golf received signing bonus of between $100 and $200 million. It was also disclosed that Phil Mickelson's suspension, he was suspended in March, and that suspension was, I think, 2 years. As a matter of fact, Bryson DeChambeau was linked to LIV Golf long before he actually signed on June 10th. According to the lawsuit, he signed with LIV twice because of the PGA Tour's threats of punishment. LIV Golf was not able to fill out its plans for a league this season. And you also have Ryder Cup implications.
Right.
President's Cup,
Yeah.
I would imagine implications as well. That I'm not sure of.
Yeah, because all the point system from the FedEx Cup and all that. But do you think the reason the LIV numbers are down are more, like, if there's a pendulum, where's the scale? Because of where it's shown?
That's a lot of it.
Or like the issues with the LIV, blood money, that kind of thing.
We talked about it earlier this week. I honestly think that the media is picking up a lot on the blood money stuff and the Saudi and the 9/11 victims. I don't think people really, I think there's some people certainly that care about that. I don't think the public,
I agree with
air
that.
quote public, really cares about that, because they've shown that they don't care about that with basketballs made in China and blah, blah, blah. That just, maybe they care a little bit more because it's in the news a little bit more, but I don't think that's the driving force. I think you don't know where to watch it. If you know where to watch it, there was a thing I saw yesterday. I want to say the average age of sports fans in every league. And I want to say the average age, I know PGA Tour was the oldest. That I do know. And I want to say it was like 54, 56, 50,
Wow.
something like that. It was high 50s or low 60s. So you got, like my dad out there trying to search for the LIV Tour on YouTube. And then you're watching it on your phone or your tablet, because many people don't have the ability to either cast or put that on their TVs. It's just not the same. The graphics, the announcers, the layout, the team concept, which I think is stupid. You shouldn't have it. Just lay it out as individuals, same as before. Nobody cares about the team concept. They need to scrap that. As we talked about earlier this week, though, Jason, the biggest story with the LIV Tour has nothing to do with the play of golf. It's just they signed players.
Mm-hmm.
And
significant ones.
And that's the news. It's almost beyond the golf. The interest in LIV is simply what they're doing to the PGA Tour in that fight. Way beyond the actual play of golf. I would venture to say very few people have watched a whole of LIV Golf, and I'm talking about golf fans. But now we can start to see, and you saw it last weekend, what's starting to emerge. There is something that's starting to emerge here, and it's going to take this thing to a whole different level. This is now becoming political. It's becoming political, and there's no polling on this yet, but I can promise you that the LIV Tour is attracting a lot of right-wing political viewpoint folks. You saw that at the Trump tournament, at the Trump course. You saw that with Tucker Carlson and Fox getting out there with Greg Norman.
Yeah.
plus the whole anti-establishment, don't really care about Saudi Arabia and that whole thing. And for the tour itself, that's actually probably a good thing, because let's talk about who most, and again, don't get mad at me, these are supported by numbers here. This is facts I'm putting out there. Most conservative and right-wing folks are white. They're older.
Right.
I don't know about their male, but
probably skew more that way.
Certainly there's women that fit that, but male. Now, what else has that same demographic? Well, older, white, male. Oh, wait, that's exactly what the PGA Tour's demographic is. That's exactly what golf's demographic is. Older white males. Now, people talk about 18 to 24, 18 to 35 being the most coveted advertising segment there is. Yes and no. Yes, it is. But it's really white men 35 to 64, because whenever you read any ad executive publication, and of course we all read those, what is it? Look at who the advertisers used to be on Rush Limbaugh. Look at who the advertisers are for the PGA Tour, which fit those demographics. Now, the younger crowd is more likely to buy a bunch of stuff.
Right.
But their stuff that they buy is small ticket.
Right. Big ticket items are
big
people
ticket
with money.
So you look at the advertisers, Rolex, Mercedes, on and on and on. You know,
it's a bunch of business, 401k and
correct,
financial
investments,
right.
Templeton and all that stuff. That is the golden goose right there. So to be able to tackle that demographic, I think Greg Norman and the LIV Tour are secretly or not so secretly saying, you know what, if we can make this a right versus left wing thing just a little bit, create more of that competition, corner the PGA Tour as the blue crowd, corner LIV is the red crowd. Well, now all of a sudden we're going to have ourselves perhaps a smaller overall audience, but an incredibly not only loyal and faithful audience, but a loyal and faithful audience that has a lot of money and is willing to spend it to support these things.
Absolutely.
Look for this conversation to start coming up more and more about this in the future. We'll take a break. Hey, 3 for Madness. We've got sports questions for you, but the only thing I care about, it's National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. 3 for Madness is next.
You want more Kings coverage?
Sactown Sports 1140's giving it to you.
I like the Monk deal a lot. The Kevin Herter one, you got control of a guy who, around the league, people still think he's a pretty good player.
Impressions, let's start with the Kings' top pick, Keegan Murray. What do you think of him? And you obviously knew him well at Iowa.
Yeah, I thought he was terrific. I called efficient and versatile. He's going to make shots. He's an elite jump shooter.
Log on to SactownSports.com for exclusive content.
SactownSports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave from my good friend Shelby at United Wholesale Lending. Shelby, Peter, the whole team over there at refinancewithshelby.com, making it happen. Listen, local lenders, local lender, a reputation to uphold. With other banks, you're just a number. Why would you possibly want to purchase or refinance from someplace in Southern California or Florida or Texas or Ohio? Why don't you try purchasing or refinancing with local folks that live amongst us, that worry about word of mouth, that know the title companies, that know the appraisers, and if you're trying to purchase, that know the realtors. So when realtors are looking at multiple offers, they say, you know what, I've worked with Shelby before a bunch of times, and I know if you got a pre-approval from him, your deal is going through. They can close a purchase loan in 17 days. That's speed on your side with a local lender. You can compete with cash offers. RefinanceWithShelby.com. NMLS number 279051. BRE number 018644354.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Question 1.
Deshaun Watson suspension not good enough for Roger Goodell. We've got that conversation coming up in 15 minutes. In the meantime, it is 3 for Madness. Jay Mars possibly stealing, and Jason Ross stealing a segment that would have been in our news, much like the MILF story earlier.
Okay, there's a better national day that fits with the MILF story.
Is? Okay.
I told Jason it earlier. Jason, thumbs up or thumbs down on that one?
Hey, 2 thumbs.
2 thumbs up.
Wow, not the 2-hand wave.
No, this is quite the opposite,
and
friend.
there's a specific reason there's 2 thumbs.
3 for Madness. I'm curious now. Question 1.
Of the 6 players going into the Hall of Fame this weekend, pick one to be on your team. Cliff Branch, Tony Baselli, Leroy Butler, Sam Mills, Richard Seymour, or Bryant Young?
This is actually a tough one. I gave this a lot of thought. I'm going to disqualify Bryant Young right away because I know I'll be biased. And he doesn't stand out enough to where I have to. Honestly, it's just because, again, your question was to be on your team, and I will generally default if I was building a team. The very first place I'm looking, other than quarterback, the very first place I'm looking at is offensive line. I'd probably go Tony Baselli. I know that's not the sexy answer.
You pick the USC guy?
Well, that wasn't part. If it makes you feel better, it wasn't part of my motivation.
I didn't know it was illegal.
It's part of my motivation
to not pick him.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No.
Speaking of bias,
I was just trying to pick the offensive line guy.
Was I leading the witness?
Uh-oh. Where are you going?
Or was the witness leading you?
And by the way, notice I Leroy Butler would have been. You could argue that secondary would be pretty awesome. Just keep in mind when we're talking about bias, we're talking about Florida State's Leroy Butler. So I disqualified Bryant Young and Leroy Butler a little bit. So.
I personally really enjoyed Cliff Branch. I remember him at the end, of his career. I was leaning towards either Richard Seymour or Sam Mills. I thought Sam Mills was so good.
He was
as a linebacker. I think he went to the Panthers at the end. I can't remember what. But in the end, same idea. I was thinking D-line. Richard Seymour was a beast.
He was an absolute beast.
So I got to get to the quarterback. You're protecting the quarterback. I'm gonna lean Richard Seymour.
Richard Seymour, 7-time Pro Bowler,
Raiders legend.
Yes.
In fact, his Wikipedia page has him in a Raiders uniform.
Nice. So he's going in the Hall of Fame with, right?
Sam Mills, 5-time Pro Bowler.
For.
Jay?
Richard Seymour.
Yeah, Richard Seymour. That's probably the right answer, but whatever, guys. I'm building my own line.
Fine.
Number 2.
Question 2.
Okay. If you made the bet on the Kings to win the title in the 2022-2023 season and could win $10.3 million, how much would you bet against the Kings as a hedge if they actually made the finals?
These are really good questions today that forced me to spend some deep thinking. I take these questions incredibly seriously. I would go to my friend, the bettor, and whatever mathematics I needed, whatever the best math was, and there's a way to do that. You figure out your hedge based on odds, potential winnings. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but are you trying to get even, or you?
I'm trying to win money.
Yeah.
The Kings making it to the finals
would be a miracle. So you're 4 wins away.
You're 4 wins away. So
for the 10.3, but what was the original bet? 18,000. You got to cover that.
Yeah. You're beyond covering that.
Right.
You're hedging. You're coming away with millions of dollars. You're coming away.
You're going to bet that much on the other team?
I'm going to bet whatever balances out the balance beam. I'm going to try to make it so that I either win whatever I win. If the Kings lose, is as close as possible to what I would win if the Kings won minus my hedge.
Okay, but I'm guessing, let's just put a team in Boston.
Yes.
Heavy favorites.
Sure.
Even if the Kings somehow are great
Absolutely.
and get there, you're going to have to bet like 14 million to win 10.3 million.
Well, I'm not going to get to
10.3,
right? But what I'm going to try to do is make sure that I walk away with the maximum amount of money I can with that hedge. Obviously, I'm not going to win 10.3 million.
Right.
So
unless
maybe
the Kings won.
Unless but if the Kings won, that 10.3 is subtracted by my hedge. So I'm walking away if the Kings made the finals at 750 to 1. Also, there's a service out there called, at least one I know of, called Prop Swap, where you could take a ticket like that and people will bid on your betting ticket and buy it from you in those situations.
That's probably the play.
I'm going to look for that too, so you don't have any financial outgo. But I'm going to borrow from a friend, whatever makes the most sense. Here's the thing. It's bad enough for the Kings to make the finals in our world here and lose. That would be absolutely devastating to me. If the Kings made the finals and I lost $10.3 million and didn't hedge, I'm drowning in a river. Like I'm not making it back.
It's the end.
It's the
dramatic.
end. I can't handle both of those. So at the very least, if the Kings lost the finals, I would need to know that the next day I'm going to be a millionaire. And by the way, you know what they say? The life change between $0 and $5 million coming into your world is way, 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 way more dramatic than adding another $5 million at the end of that. In other words, going from our financial positions right now, if we got $2, $3, $4 million,
super significant.
Super significant. The difference between $4 million and $10 million, you're already a millionaire. Yes, you're richer, but you've already gone up that ladder to a point. So I'm 100% hedging.
Yeah, I don't know what the number figure is. Obviously, I want that, whatever the initial bet we figured out the guy had, 18,000, at least that, and then some, because you want to, when you know the one scale has you potentially at 10 million.
Yeah.
But I got to imagine they'd be heavy underdogs. I don't know how much, like that money line would be so significant. I never thought about that other one. That's really intriguing if you kind of put
the prop swap.
Yeah, someone will come in and almost guarantee. Now I watch 100% as a fan, rooting for the Kings, knowing, I could have won 10.3, but if the other team wins, I'm not stressing that. And I got the guaranteed in hand, whatever that significant money that someone would give me.
You may be a dog. Your team may be a dog or a heavy dog in that finals. But if you've got a 750 to 1 bet like that, and you're 4 wins away, 10.3 million on the wins, whatever you got to hedge. I don't know what the numbers are. In fact, I'd like to find out, but you're a millionaire no matter what if you hedge.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Question.
Oh, by the way, Jay, are you hedging?
No.
What? He completely rolled his eyes when I said, by the way, he was like, oh, we got to move on.
This is more important.
I want to know your opinion. Go ahead. Anyways, you're not hedging. You're crazy.
Today is National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day.
Yes.
Remove homemade from the conversation. What is the best store-bought chocolate chip cookie?
This answer's going to surprise you.
Don't say it.
No, it's not. It's not in the way you think it's going to surprise you. It's as much about price and quality as anything else to me. I don't like, for example, you know what set of cookies I like? I like this Safeway mixture you get in the plastic thing, to go box, where one row is chocolate chip, one row is white chocolate macadamia nut, and then one row is the ones with the M&Ms in them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they're the quality.
But they're soft. They're soft,
but they're not good.
No, they're. I beg to differ.
They're okay.
I beg. They're fantastic. They're very good cookies. Chips Ahoy Chewy, the S'more, really the Reese's peanut butter ones. That's a fine cookie.
But chocolate chip.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like.
I love the Chips Ahoy soft, the Chewies.
Yeah,
those are my favorite.
Especially you put them in the microwave wrapped in a paper towel for 15 seconds.
Famous Amos,
Famous Amos are great. Actually,
Pepperidge
really
Farm,
good.
like whatever those Sausalitos or whatever.
What's the one with like the slivery looking chocolates in them?
That's not a chocolate chip cookie, though.
There's one. I don't like crunchy chocolate chip cookies as a rule, but there's one. I don't know the name. Someone out there will. That comes in a green bag. It's like Mrs. Johnson's, or I don't know what the hell it's called.
Okay, I'm gonna ban Earl from the chat.
Why?
Oatmeal raisin greater than chocolate chip?
No.
Yeah, you're gonna. Yeah, you're gonna.
Earl, I think you're getting banned today.
A 5-minute
and he's
timeout.
under 30. How is he saying that?
I think Earl's a serial killer. That's actually something that's Earl pours the milk
on timeout.
Earl pours the milk in his bowl before the cereal.
And puts oatmeal raisin in.
Oatmeal raisin greater than. Don't put fruit in my cookie. Oatmeal raisin is the second cousin to the mother's bag of assorted cookies, the little white plain cookies.
Just useless.
They're absolutely useless.
Those mistakes?
Ryan's agreeing with him too. Another timeout.
It's another timeout.
Wow, we'll put everybody on timeout.
We'll accept a lot of differing opinions here. We will not accept dangerous opinions.
Yeah, that's just
violently bad. We'll take a break.
I don't think we should break.
I don't even want to tease the next segment, to be honest. I need to. Here's why we need to break. First off, we have to. Secondly, I need to go outside. I need to vent. I need to walk around a little bit.
And you're not going to go get an oatmeal raisin cookie.
You darn gosh right I'm not. I almost did too. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Deshaun Watson, this appeal of suspension. We'll talk about it next.
The start of the NFL season is upon us, and Sactown Sports 1140 has all your coverage.
Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, and of course, all the NFL action every Sunday.
Your home for the NFL all season long. Sactown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Quick Quack Car Wash.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Thursday. We're waking up to a mild beginning to the day, and it's going to be hot once again this afternoon. We'll see highs in the range of 98 to 102. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
I thought you went camping this weekend. Just got back, but your car is spotless.
I just rolled through Quick Quack on my way home, and I'm ready to start the week gleaming.
I'll be going there tomorrow.
Head to Quick Quack Car Wash for a shine that lets you defy expectations.
There was always a crowd gathered around our dining table when I was growing up. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Everyone was
Live and local. Live and local. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Hey, Dave.
Jason Ross.
We've got a developing situation.
Oh boy. Okay, because I am as in the dark as the audience on this.
New nickname on the show is Jay Dikembe Mars.
Oh.
He's on a block routine. We have hit a nerve.
Dikembe?
Yes.
No way.
Under 30 Earl, Ryan Not Ryan, and Barn Bomb.
Barn Bomb
all got Matumbo'd by Jay Mars.
Barn Bomb didn't have the oatmeal raisin take, but he came in saying he was going to start putting people on timeout, and I had to remind Barn Bomb to know his role and chat. I control this game,
Just
buddy.
hit a nerve with Jay Mars. Jay Mars is on
Just
fire.
really upset me.
What did he say? Do you remember? Can you give me a close to a quote on this?
Oh, he told Ryan and Earl that he also would be putting them on timeout and that he would ban them.
And Jay was not having it, just like the oatmeal raisin take.
Oh gosh, there's yeah, dude. Well, of course, Murph's in here now talking about how great oatmeal raisin cookies are. He's just trying to get a ban. Murph's the guy that some of Murph's hot takes over the years. Pokashevsky from Oklahoma City is going to be the next. God knows, like this guy basically drooled over Poku forever. Who's not the best.
Oh, I just saw his comment.
Yeah, the gold. Murph wants the gold jersey.
Oh, is he a glutton for punishment?
Murph is like, yes. I think Murph owns a lot of leather.
And Ryan's getting a second timeout for keeping that oatmeal raisin take going.
Oh, Ryan's just looking to, wow. Is that the same Ryan in Sactown we were just talking about?
I think so. We all three have been on his.
Not going on a show anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, Ryan.
Stop with the direct messages. By the way, memo to everyone who sends me direct messages.
I thought they were open, and you were very caring. And
I want to remind everybody, I leave my direct messages open on Twitter, specifically, much like my pinned tweet is the new suicide hotline number. It's something I care very deeply about. And the message is always, if you need somebody to talk to, like I'm a big dumb oaf, but I'm here and happy to talk to you. And I will never violate anyone's privacy, but let me just say, and I never talk about this because I think it's self-aggrandizing, but I have these conversations with people, not a lot,
right?
But I'd say once every month or two, I have
good.
a long conversation with somebody who's really struggling. And does it help? I don't know. I hope it does, but that's why that's there. My direct messages are not open for you to send me links to sports stories that we literally have been talking about all week. My favorite ones are like the latest Kings trade, and somebody will send me a link to it and be like, wow, can you believe this?
Shout out all your junior producers you have on staff.
And I'm like, I literally had somebody send me a link to when they drafted Keegan Murray and saying, Dave, heads up. That was the message. I'm like, I'm literally live tweeting from the draft at Golden One Center. Fine. It's also not for you to send me your really nice looking drawing.
Oh.
Of something Kingsy.
Okay.
It's not for you to invite me on your podcast, right? It's just, it's there for a very specific reason. And I outline that.
Yeah.
And some people unfortunately take advantage of that. And then I have to respond to them because then I feel like I'm being rude.
What if it's to debate the merits of the oatmeal raisin?
No, that is not what it's there for.
Okay.
And
by doing this, you're just inviting more people.
Yeah, I know. And then I'm going to have to shut them down. And then you know what's going to happen? I'm going to end up shutting down my direct messages. And then somebody's going to, you can still send me the things.
I remember when Dave was for the people.
You can still send me the drawing or the cookie recipe, but send it to me on Twitter. You don't have to direct message me. Just tweet me the thing.
Yeah.
By the way, now Murph's in my instant messages with a brown sugar oatmeal cookie recipe from the Pioneer Woman. Now, listen.
I love the
Pioneer Woman too. I watch Ree every single day. I'm not saying that if there's a soft, warm brown sugar oatmeal cookie lying there and there's nothing else there, that I'm not going to eat and enjoy it with a nice glass of milk.
But if the chocolate chip cookie is there, you're thinking that.
That's the point.
Yeah.
And so why make the other one?
Right.
Speaking of the Pioneer Woman, she is up in arms about this NFL Deshaun Watson situation.
She sure is. We're here to help. Deshaun Watson was suspended, as you know, 6 games by an independent arbitrator, a judge even.
Yeah.
And what a great week for judges and courtrooms, by the way. Can I just say that? What a wonderful week for judges and courtrooms. This, however, was collectively bargained by the NFL Players Association. The league saw the suspension and went,
not enough.
Well, there were steps though,
because the public told us
they saw the
enough.
suspension. They went,
yeah. All those talking heads are saying he's getting off lightly.
Yeah, we better appeal because it's good for PR. Should we appeal because we think the suspension's lower because, all these alleged victims and the thing and all that? And yeah, maybe. And that's the thing to remember is that you will see leagues do this. The NBA does this too, and so does baseball, because the burden of proof is not the same as in a courtroom. In a courtroom, you have to prove that this person did the thing.
Correct.
It can't be hearsay. It can't be circumstance. You've got to prove there's a level of the burden there that you have to prove. When it comes to the league, they can just say, okay, they couldn't prove it, but there's enough stuff in the periphery that tells us that you acted inappropriately. We believe, based on the evidence, that you obviously did this through our investigation, this, that, whatever. We're not handcuffed by those same rules.
Yeah.
So the argument here is that the judge was ruling on this as if it was a court of law and was assigning, instead of a jail sentence, a suspension of games sentence.
Yeah.
The NFL is coming in and saying, okay, you were handcuffed by proof and burden. We're not. We want to add to this.
Yeah, and I think part of the trick, what I read and heard was, as we said earlier in the week, this technically, by definition, was one of the largest suspensions of this kind.
Yes.
Under this umbrella. The league also was setting this up to hopefully increase said suspensions, where the judge was like looking at comps and going, all right, well, 6 games is significant.
Yes.
Public opinion. A lot of others in the league thought it wasn't enough. I think I asked you, what is enough? I think 1 year sounds clean. Sounds like just a natural break. If it was 10, is that enough? If it was 8, is it 13? I don't know. I think everyone just kind of jumps to the year as that feels a little bit more appropriate.
Yes.
Obviously the NFL Players Association will start to support their player and back it up. You already have the this is going to get ugly.
It is going to get ugly. And I think now it becomes interesting. We talked about this at the beginning of the show, Jason, because now it kicks the door wide open. I don't think this will happen, but the door is now open for Deshaun Watson to start week 1. Here's the mechanism. If the judge laid out her suspension and Roger Goodell and the NFL say, no, that's not good enough, and now Deshaun Watson's people are going to appeal either the suspension Goodell decides on, or they're going to appeal even the idea of there being a suspension further than the one the judge put out. Now I can see Deshaun Watson's camp going to a real judge in the real world and asking for a temporary restraining order on the suspension. Now, for the example here is this. In Major League Baseball, you had the situation where Tim Anderson, and this happens with all suspensions, bumped the umpire. And he was laid out with a suspension. He's appealing the suspension. Well, until that appeal is heard and decided on, he plays. It's the same thing with any of those suspensions. And I know the mechanisms are slightly different in baseball and football, but if they continue to follow down that road, we could be in a situation where we see Deshaun Watson debuting in game 1 in front of a sold-out crew of adoring Browns fans. I'm assuming they're playing at home. Meanwhile, this whole thing is going on. And as you aptly mentioned, correctly mentioned earlier, okay, but at some point, a 6-game, a 12-game, a 17-game, something, a minimum 6-game suspension is coming down. Do you really want to appeal and put that into the playoffs, or do you just want to, which is what I think is going to happen.
Right.
I think he's going to he's not going to play until it's decided. And then whatever's decided, whether it's 6, 10, 17, that's going to be time served.
Right.
It just wouldn't make sense otherwise, financially as well, with that contract.
And the other thing that with this, I mean, look how long this first step took.
Yes.
I mean, technically he could, and I know people like, he sat out he didn't, the Texans, and they kind of agreed to that. This wasn't a league handed down suspension.
Right.
But those things can really drag on.
Right.
And not that, hey, you have to hurry because football's here. That's not the point, but it's just, how far does the league want to go with this? How far do the Browns want to go with this? The Players Association, Watson's camp, man. When you thought, okay, at least there's a resolution, 6 games. Okay, a lot of people weren't happy with that. I don't know if happy is ever the right term, but felt like should be a harsher punishment. But man, interesting choice by the league.
Here's what I wonder. Now, Deshaun Watson's playing for the Browns now. Last year, as you mentioned, he was with the Texans. He didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 17-game stretch where he didn't play.
But got paid.
And this is what I wonder. If I'm an arbitrator, and I wonder how the public would feel about this. If I'm an arbitrator, here's my compromise. The NFL wants a longer suspension, and they're also apparently not happy with the fine either. So here's what my compromise would be. Doesn't mean this is what I personally think. This is what I wonder if both sides could come to an agreement on. 6-game suspension without pay, and Deshaun Watson is fined the amount of money he made last year. Therefore, it turns it technically into a 23-game suspension. He misses 23 games of pay. Granted, 17 of them are retroactive, so you could argue, okay, he's skating there, but he still missed a year of his career. He's still going to miss 6 games this year. But if he donates back pre-tax, well, actually, after tax, that would be, whatever he brought home, he donates, not donates.
So his salary from last year?
Whatever his salary was, let's say it was $20 million. I have no idea what it was. And let's say he brought home $11.4 million. Again, I'm just throwing dumb numbers out there. Okay. then he is retroactively suspended to the start of last year. We'll call that a suspension, and he has a fine of $11.5 million. Therefore, it actually was a suspension last year.
Right.
And then you bring in the 6 from this year. Everybody drops their appeals.
Wow. And that, I mean, I don't know. Wouldn't that be the largest fine to an individual?
Sure.
I mean, like sometimes when that goes to a team, that's really large. You go, oh, it's a drop in the bucket, which is true. And I know he is set to make a lot of money. Remember, he's not this year. That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And granted, if he just took a full season suspension here, he's going to miss $1 million. But again, where Goodell has the ability to make this different is he can levy fines on top of that.
Yeah.
So I think there's a compromise there. Yeah. I do.
And then, like, again, his lawyer's going, why are we getting fined?
Right.
Is this conduct as opposed to where's the guilt?
Well, there's risk there. There's more to talk about with this. We'll take a break. When we come back, listen, does the NFL really want this fight? Is this the NFL? Is this the NFL turning over a new leaf, or are they just trying to save face here? We'll continue this and get into more football next.
You ask for more 49ers coverage, and Sactown Sports 1140 listen.
Let's go, Niner gang!
Get all the latest 49ers news and notes online at SactownSports.com. Plus, make sure to follow us on IG at Sactown1140 for Emil Fergoso's live post-game show following every game.
That is what we expect out of the Niner gang. Niners win!
Your home for the most 49ers coverage in Sacramento.
Sactown Sports 1140. About kitchen gadgets and baseball cards.
I think that's really crazy interesting.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Childhood friend of mine, my buddy Willie, listening from Mississippi every day.
Wow.
Yeah, he listens all the time.
Big Will.
Made a great point. You know,
the Show Me State.
That's Missouri.
Miss, same thing.
Do that on purpose to derail me, and I'm not falling for it. This is a football segment, and before we get back to Deshaun Watson, We were talking about the MILF earlier.
Yes.
Major League Football coming to Sacramento this fall, playing at Hart Hell Park. The MILF. Yes, we're rooting for the Sacramento Cougars. That's what we want. Well, brings up a good point because we were saying you might as well set the money on fire.
By the way, Sacramento Stiflers, I think the alliteration is better.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to happen, though.
All right,
I just have a feeling. What would the mascot be? How about the logo?
I got a couple ideas. Should I share?
Nope.
Okay.
Please don't. He brought up a point we didn't think about, and that is there is actually a legit way, and I'm being serious here. There is a legit way to start an alternative football league like this and really make a small fortune. And how you do that is you start an alternative football league like this with a large fortune. And eventually it will become a small fortune. So you can technically make a small fortune with these leagues.
Okay. Which is what's happened to the other leagues.
I mean, listen, we're gonna have fun with this when it happens, and we'll probably have the commissioner-y guy on at some point just because it's Sacramento and it's news. And I'm not rooting against it. In fact, I'm rooting for it. Just like I would root for my son to do a two-handed dunk in a game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not holding my breath,
right?
But I'm not rooting against it. The chances of this league not losing, I mean, it's not just that these leagues fold. There was one last year. It wasn't one that we've talked about, but there was something else where, like, it was just recently, I want to say, where they stranded the players at the hotel because they didn't pay their bill. You know, you heard about with one of the other goofy leagues. There was the XFL and the other league that was like a couple years ago where you had people that left actual NFL jobs,
right,
to take good paying jobs high up in this new league. And then 6 months later, their checks are bouncing. I mean, these things not only do these things fail, but they ruin lives or at least derail lives a little bit. I'm all for moving the line from 98.5% of college football players don't play in the NFL to 95% don't play professionally. The more opportunities, the better.
Sure.
100%.
Sure.
And the more opportunities in Sacramento for entertainment, especially in the sports world.
Yeah.
And getting people, we've got the new stadium Kevin's working on, Kevin Nagel, and maybe I would love for this to work. But there's no chance of it working, and it's going to lose money.
How many wealthy, smart people have been involved in this before? Not just this league, in the 10 others that have tried. It just hasn't worked. The best bar is the NFL, and you can't compete. And the next closest is college. You can't compete with that either. There's two very successful football entities going on right now that people are consumed and have tradition and history.
You're talking about NFL and college.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I don't know that there will be a third.
No.
And it would be a league that would have to last for probably a decade, and none of them get past 2 to 3 years.
And you why would you compete
right
in the fall? Why would you compete in the fall
right
against the NFL? I don't know. It's one of those things where, I don't want to sound too whatever-y here, but it's like, dude, just take that money and feed people or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, get school supplies for inner city schools and places that need it. Like, do something positive with it, because you're walking. It's like you're going to leave a big Wile E. Coyote cutout in a brick wall because you're going to smash through it. So, anyways, but we're rooting for it.
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, I don't want to have this guy on. We'll have him on. I mean, we'll ask him the questions.
Right.
I'm not going to come in and be like, you're going to be a failure. But, like, how is this going? Seriously, dude, what's the difference? Anyways, does the NFL want this Deshaun Watson fight? This is all PR, right?
Yes,
but any
but
part of them trying to do the right thing here?
no, I don't think so, because I think it's a reaction to the PR part, yes, or to the backlash for many people thinking it wasn't enough of a suspension. But honestly, let's play that out. What's the win day for the NFL? Let's say they get more games out of Deshaun Watson. Are that many people? Good job, Roger. Good job, NFL. I mean, maybe I'm wrong on that. I mean, I think your poll question, I know that's a sliver of this, but that was a lot of people that said 90% got it wrong. I mean, think it should be more.
Yeah.
But I think we had a texter earlier thinking it should be 10. 12 in a season is too much. Okay, so if it's 8, if it's 10, 11, a full season, like, what's the number? What's the sweet spot where everybody goes, yeah, they did it right. Good for the league. Is it the fight they're going to have to go through? Honestly, if it gets ugly and like I'm Watson's group, I'm going, why is my guy okay? What are some of these other things that have, like, you just, like, case closed on what you said, the Dolphins?
Yes.
Okay, we're good with the first round pick, and really the owner wasn't involved in, like, can we dig a little? Like, I want to fight that now.
Right.
Like, are we doing this? Like, why are we opening up potentially? Hey, was Jerry Jones on the up and up with Hardy, and was this and like?
And Jerry Jones is whoever he was paying off, and the
or
guy,
Robert Kraft
right.
in his situation. It's similar-ish to Watson's.
Yes.
I mean, there's more accusations, but whatever. Like, really? Are you going to do this?
I think there's very highly paid people in the NFL upper offices that wear suits to work every day and sit at conference tables with Roger Goodell. And at some point in this conversation, they're saying, hey, listen, you suspended Calvin Ridley for a year for betting. You're now going after a bigger suspension for Deshaun Watson, this, that, whatever. There's going to be a racial component here at some point. There are going to be questions as to, are you going after people of color in a different realm than you would these rich white owners? Are you and granted, you're talking about players versus owners.
Right.
I get that, but the NFL right now can't. Well, number one, the NFL doesn't really want these conversations again, especially after you got the kneeling and the Kaepernick and the reaction there, and then the apology they had and all this different stuff. They don't want to go down these roads, but also they don't want the look of domestic violence being, if not supported, at least blind-eyed, and that they copped out and let a judge make this decision. So what I refuse to believe that the motivation is simply that Roger Goodell in his heart believes that this is too much, that there's a true motivation behind this.
But what's the point of the judge? I mean, that's what's set up. It's agreed upon. I know it was backed by the NFLPA, but the NFL owner, like, okay, we're good with this.
Well,
then you're not good with the first ruling.
Yeah, let me take you down that road, though. If you really want to get conspiratorial, Roger Goodell and friends could be sitting there and saying, you know what? We come out and it doesn't matter what suspension we put down. If we give him 2 seasons, it's going to get appealed and we're going to look weak. If we get him 1 season, it might get appealed and we look weak. You know, a way we could come out of this where nobody could question us legitimately. Why don't we do everything we can to hire a third party? We'll also get a female judge in there as well. I don't think that was an accident. We'll get a female judge in there. We'll let the judge make the decision, and one of two things will happen. Either she'll come up with a suspension that's like that
we're all good with.
We're all good with.
Yeah.
If she comes up with something more, well, that's not on us. That's on that Deshaun can go after her and that. And if it's less, then we can jump in and say, hold on, that's not enough. We want more because we care. And then 2 things will happen. We'll either get a bigger suspension, win the appeals, and we'll look like we're standing up against domestic violence, or we won't, but not for lack of trying. We tried. The judge did the thing, and we didn't think that was right, and we went further with it. I think they're covering their bases.
Yeah, but that's going to be all awkward press conferences for old Raj if that case happens, when people pepper him with questions.
It's a problem, and we got a break. But you know what the reality of the situation is? Nobody cares. They don't care. They're going to write think pieces, and they're going to do this thing. Bottom line is, anybody who would not watch the NFL because Deshaun Watson wasn't punished enough wasn't going to watch the NFL anyways. Nobody. You got Cleveland Brown fans just justifying left, right, front, and center. Here's the bottom line: the NFL
lining up to get his autograph the other day.
The NFL is the king.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing that happens is going to make people stop watching the NFL. Not player safety, not domestic violence, none of this stuff. People want their NFL. They're going to watch their NFL. That's the truth.
Yep.
We'll take a break. When we come back, are you ready for some actual football?
Yeah.
Well, we don't have that for you. But we do have the Raiders in Jacksonville.
Hey.
Hall of Fame game right here on Sactown Sports 1140. Let's talk about that after this.
Check out the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars in the Hall of Fame game this Thursday on Sactown Sports 1140, immediately following the Oakland A's game.
On your home for the NFL.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Nobody protects.
Sacramento.
Sactown Sports 1140. It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone. When he's not on the mmicrophone, he's playing a song. And when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports 1140.
Here's a stretch in the pitch, and that's waved in on a slider in the dirt. Murphy clears himself, throws to first for the out, securing a win for the A's as they beat the Angels by the final of 3-1.
Just A's won.
A's won. They beat
A's
Shohei.
won. That's heard right here on KHTK on Sactown Sports 1140. All of it. Yeah. I think that's like that. I think I'm actually quite surprised since our brand change that I have not done that more. I've actually been pretty good for me at branding properly.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was good. After years and years and years and years, decades literally of saying KHTK.
Yeah.
Being able to get the Sactown Sports 1140 in. So,
good job.
Thank you. I'm very proud of myself. Before we get into tonight's Hall of Fame game, just a quick note. I won't say the name of the place because I never know if they're a sponsor or not. I don't think they are. My wife recently got one of those subscription, what do you call them? One of the clubs where you go to buy the groceries in bulk, where you have to get the card.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay. There's a couple here locally. You go there and you walk in with your cart and you get I want some mayonnaise.
Super size.
Yeah. Here's 4 giant jars.
Right.
I don't know that I've ever left one of those places that is designed to save you money. We're having company this week, Friday and Saturday, 2 separate cookouts, and we're serving a number of people.
Okay.
So we went there to go buy a giant 5-pound log of hamburger type of stuff. I don't think you really save money there.
Not generally. I mean, the thought process is you are, but you're not, because you will buy something not on your list. If you go in with a list, which you should, but most people don't. And then I am very much a walk down every aisle.
Same.
And it's like, yeah, we could use 2 more staplers. I'm like, when do I or whatever it is, or you know what? We do need more folding chairs.
We need pillows.
Yeah.
And they're on sale.
Yeah. They're 4 for $9.99.
Yeah.
You weren't buying beforehand.
And now you got $50 in pillows.
Right.
I have a gallon of Clausen pickles in my fridge right now. A gallon.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they made them that big. I have a giant bag in my freezer of Star Wars shaped chicken nuggets.
There's been 4 different Star Wars movies that have come out since.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did buy the 3-pack of mayo. I'll eventually go through it. But you can't get out of there for... Have you ever walked out of there spending under $200?
Yes, but rarely.
You're spending triple figures when you go there.
Yeah.
And then they have the $1.50 hot dog. And that was I was actually looking forward to it because we talked about this the other day.
Yeah.
But there's a line.
Yep.
Always
a healthy line. Yeah, healthy.
An unhealthy line.
Yeah.
I lot of
remember
people.
I was so excited, but it was one of those moments I was at, I'm sure, the same place. And I came home and I remember telling my wife, look what I bought. And I bought this pretty decent size shredder, like paper shredder.
Oh, yeah.
And we had one. And I'm like, but this one Chris cuts 25 times and blah, blah, blah. And it's way better. But I don't remember. I mean, it might have been like $60 or $80. I don't know. I was like, but I did not go there for that.
A lot of people I know are shredders.
Yeah.
We're not shredders.
You're not shredders?
It makes me feel like I should be shredding.
I don't know that we were. We haven't always been. And we had one. Yeah, it's just junk or
You ever put like lunch meat in there?
Hey, we need some cheese shredded.
Right, like a slice of ham.
And I've not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, and Ryan brings up a great point. Then we'll move on here. The money you save probably at these places, that's your membership fee every year.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
We just end up ordering. We get 98% of our groceries Walmart online.
Right.
We just order them.
Well, the other part of that is if it's one certain establishment that's close to us here. You, as a member, you get like a yearly, not rebate, like a check that'll come your way. Like, hey, thank you for your last year, and it might be, I don't know. I think we just got one, and it's $57.
Sure.
And 38 cents or something. Well, I'm going to go use that, but I'll probably end up with 200. What was I going to get?
Right.
Paper towels, toilet paper, milk, eggs, whatever. And you're like, oh, here's the 50. No, it's way more than 57. And I bought, a gallon of applesauce, all the baked beans.
Right.
We'll use a 25-pound bag of rice.
I need 44 ounces of nacho cheese.
Yes.
I need it.
Yeah.
I can put it in jars and freeze it.
Yeah. Oh, there's a triple box of Honey Nut Cheerios. Super size.
There's a triple box of Honey Nut Cheerios on top of our fridge right
Yes.
now. We didn't have a place in the thing to put it. Hall of Fame game tonight, 5 o'clock kickoff.
Quick, best Hall of Fame game you ever remember. Exactly.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Who played in last year's? The Twins and the Yankees.
Bears
and the Kings. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. But it's not about, and we talked about this yesterday, it's not about the game, is it?
It's the fact that football's starting. Like a game is on TV. It's NBC, right? It's their new crew. I say new crew. We've had Tirico before, but
right.
Al Michaels is gone.
Yeah.
So Tirico and Collinsworth, I'm assuming.
Who was it? Who's with wait, who is it? It's Al Michaels
and Herb Street.
And Herb Street.
On Amazon.
And Al's worried that he's going to keep calling Kirk Herb Street Chris. Like Chris Collinsworth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Al's done this before.
Yeah.
I'm watching for, I think it's August 7th or 8th, Hard Knocks debuts. And I've told you that really starts to kick off my excitement. And it's the Lions this year, so what could be more exciting?
Dan Campbell.
I mean, it's basically just Dan Campbell, and nobody cares about the rest. And then I just put this forth from a 49er perspective. I guess if the Niners are playing tonight, I would be a little bit interested in a couple of the,
Yeah.
But also, you look at who they're probably playing a second. It's like Summer League.
Right.
I mean, it's literally Summer League.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that, I have not seen what the Raiders' plan is for like Carr. If it's 1 series, 2 series, 0 series, I don't know. But I think the Jags have come out and said they're not expecting to play Trevor Lawrence at all. And that's honestly a little surprising. I mean, he's going into year 2, brand new coach. I mean, they got the stink, hopefully, of Urban Meyer away.
That's a lot of stink.
Yeah. But it's year 2. Like,
yes.
If anyone play a quarter or play a series,
something.
I mean, I know he's been practicing getting reps, and you're trying to protect him. That's the most, and you need to get through preseason as injury-free as possible. But, I mean, the guy needs some reps.
It's tough for me I hear you, and I would, as a fan, prefer for it. It's just tough for me because earlier this week I was like, do away with preseason.
Oh, I would
injuries.
rather have that. But
Right.
if you literally have the games, I don't know.
And I don't know if you're a Raider fan, what are you trying to glean? Are you looking at Josh McDaniels' play calling? Are you hoping for a Carr, Devontae Adams? What if Derek Carr and Devontae Adams played 4 series together, and Devontae Adams caught 7 passes for 180 yards and 3 touchdowns?
Be pretty excited.
You would be, but like in the big scheme of things, does that in any way inform what's going to happen in the regular season, considering probably the defense or lack thereof you're playing against? Like Derek Carr and Devontae Adams.
But that's a new toy.
It is a new toy.
Is good. And then if they just validate it, I know it's not worth it because it's preseason, but if it's validated right away, that would feel pretty good as a Raider fan. Like Trey Lance's first game, this your first preseason game, when you kind of know this is now officially his team. Last year we got the sneak peek and you go, oh man, that deep throw looked good, or he ran like he looks like he's something. In the end, they went with Garoppolo. Now you know it's his team, and if you start to see hints, I don't know. Let's go to Keegan Murray. Like in the end, he was Summer League MVP. That's fantastic. It doesn't mean he's winning Rookie of the Year. It doesn't mean he's going to have a good rookie year. Right. It feels like he will, but I think we all looked at him and go, "Oh yeah, I see it. I see it," and that's exciting going into the year.
5 o'clock tonight, Sactown Sports 1140's got your coverage. Let's bounce around a little bit in the world of the NFL. From the Niners, Deebo Samuel was talking to the media about communication with the 49ers.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is a business. So what changed was the communication. The more we communicated, the more we started to figure things out.
Okay. Deebo Samuel saying that at the beginning and middle of the day, communication does not matter. Interesting. Deebo on false narratives.
That's false. There's a lot of things that came out that I want to speak on, but at the end of the day, I wasn't allowed to. So, I mean, you can turn on the tape, go back to the Cowboys game. It kind of shows what kind of player I am. And also, I mean, you can go turn on the Pro Bowl tape and like what I said about being a wide back, I don't mind, do whatever it takes for this team to win.
Okay.
Good.
Deebo fed some of that narrative, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I don't like the retroactive stuff. Like, dude, come on. The whole Instagram thing. And, come on, man. Like, he's not It worked.
Yeah, I'm just glad it's solved. Go play, figure out. Shanahan's going to figure out how to use him the best way they possibly can.
Was Deebo Samuel right and smart, and everything worked out for him? Did he do it the right way? Is that how you? Yeah, is that how you do it now? Kyler Murray did the same thing. The whole we always talk about the Instagram unfollow. Both are very rich now.
Yeah, but he also did put out that like trade demands.
Yes,
he allegedly wanted to go. Yeah,
allegedly. We talked about the Dolphins tampering earlier and the punishments there. Bill Belichick was asked about it.
Bill, I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about that. We're just trying to have a good training camp here.
Did you have any idea the Dolphins were tampering with your starting quarterback that season?
Yeah, focused on training camp here. That's all in the past.
Will he ever address anything?
No.
Ever.
Okay. Would the worst talk show ever be hosted by Bill Belichick?
You know, sometimes I have heard him pretty engaging. He was a part of, what was it? It was something on the NFL Network where it was him, maybe it was Rich Eisen, I can't remember, but they were basically doing like a countdown or 100 greatest players, something along those lines. And he was speaking about it, and he was really good. He was really breaking down a play one time about Ed Reed. And he was like, he's the greatest I've ever seen do this.
I remember this
and
clip.
He's just like going nuts.
Yes.
And I'm like, wait, is that the same guy?
I do remember this clip.
And he's like, he did the counter to the counter to the counter or whatever. And as soon as like, don't, Ed's going to see it. And then Ed did.
Ed saw it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now I'm thinking about Bill Belichick hosting a variety show in his post-coaching days. It looks like there's
variety show.
The Bill Belichick variety show.
Would you rather, you have I think it would have to be live to make it uncomfortable. So you have the opportunity, I'm going to give you an X amount of 5 minutes on TV with Pop or Belichick. And it's you and him. It's a game because they're both edgy and uncomfortable. So, but you're going to get 5 minutes. It's not the 30 seconds.
I'm going to cheat here. This is a little bit of cheating. I'm going to go Pop, because I think Pop's come out of his shell a little bit more recently. And number two, I'm just going to get him going on politics. I'm going to get him going on. That's cheating. Now, if you're saying I can
stick to sports,
I think then I would go with Belichick because of the hilarity that would ensue of the discomfort, the awkwardness of the interview. We'll take a break. Let's take a closer look at the Raiders and also what Hall of Fame receiver says Trey Lance is going to be incredible this year. We'll answer that next.
Sactown Sports 1140 is your home of the Las Vegas Raiders for the 2022 NFL season.
Tune your dial to 1140 for all Raiders games.
Plus, you can listen online at SactownSports.com and on the Sactown Sports 1140 app.
There was always a crowd gathered around our dining table when I was growing up. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Everyone was welcome at my mother's table, so holidays, birthdays, and celebrations always included family and friends. I used to think I was the most popular kid in the neighborhood until I realized that my friends were really there for my mother's incredible cooking. Years later, when I bought my own dining table from Naturewood, I made sure it was large enough to make friends feel welcome. And right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings' Dine in Style sale, you have an opportunity to find the perfect dining room furniture to help you create your own treasured memories. Choose from casual to formal or anything in between. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings during the Dine in Style sale off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Who is your favorite James Bond? Join our IMAX Pass at SactownSports.com and sign up today. You can win tickets to see Sean Connery as James Bond in Goldfinger this week at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Text or call the show at 916-339-1140 on Sactown Sports 1140.
Fun with buttons.
Yes.
Welcome back. Final 45 minutes of the program. We got other sports to get to, including a 4-strike at bat. How the heck did that happen? Trey Lance is the big question in Niner land.
Huge part of their questions. Yep.
And everyone's going to analyze it all day long and make their picks and thoughts and predictions and all that. And then we'll actually play it. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? Michael Irvin, Dallas Cowboy great, weighed in on Trey Lance earlier.
I can't wait to see it. And I'm expecting him to have an incredible season for a young guy. I'm not saying he's going to win MVP, but he'll have an incredible season for a young guy. I've watched Kyle Shanahan have pretty good success with guys, with backup guys that are way less talented than Trey Lance. So I'm expecting him to have some success with this kid, with the upside that he has in his body.
Did Michael Irvin just call Jimmy Garoppolo a backup quarterback? Or am I reading into that?
No, I think he did. I think in a way he did. By the way, the spams are back in the YouTube chat. That's happening daily now.
Yeah, I'm going to leave them in there.
And in between, it was Aaron that said Michael Irvin also thought Quincy Carter was going to be great. It'll get him all right.
Yeah.
He was great at not being great.
True.
You're not going to bat 1,000 on that one.
Yeah.
It's not just the NFL that's coming up. It's also college football.
Mm-hmm.
And the best coach in college football, Nick Saban, weighed in on last year for his Alabama Crimson Tide.
I'm excited about the guys that we have that are new to our program, new to our team. And I'm excited about the young players that we have to develop and which one of those guys will actually be able to contribute. We've had a lot of freshmen play here and contribute to the success of the team. And our upperclassmen really embrace these guys in a positive way. And I think that's a good thing for our program. So, hopefully we'll have some of those guys emerge. But last year we had kind of a rebuilding year. So we should have 9 starters back on offense, 9 on defense, but 6 guys go out early for the draft. So now we have 5 back on offense and 7 back on defense. So that in and of itself creates a few more question marks, but it also creates opportunity for other players to be able to shine in the program and contribute in a positive way.
Rebuilding year? They're in the national championship.
They were in the national championship.
Come on.
They finished number 2 in the polls last year. If last year wasn't a rebuilding year for Alabama, just don't even have, just have the old school bowl games where it's just for fun.
Exactly.
None of that's
They'll
happening.
be fine.
ESPN has an interesting article that caught my eye that's out right now, and it's moments that would have broken Twitter in sports. And Twitter existed back in the day.
Okay.
Now, we've had this sort of conversation before. I want to say we did this last summer, but I want to run a couple of their nominees.
Okay.
Bo Jackson running up the wall to make the catch.
Oh, I thought it was me running through Brian Bosworth.
I completely agree. That's exactly what I thought too. And by the way, I agree with both.
Yes.
You imagine the highlights we would be seeing and how insane social media would be with either of those.
Right. Because, people at the game would have a different angle of Bo going in, and we'd look at all of them.
And you would have like little, they edit stuff. He'd be like running up the wall and grabbing like a cartoon character or something, or punching,
or someone made a wave.
Right.
Right.
Wave.
Yeah.
We talked about this kind of earlier when we were in our dunk conversation. Of course, this wasn't in the NBA. Vince Carter jump dunking over Frederick Weiss. That would have shut everything down.
Yeah, we would have gone over the Empire State Building. They would have done all sorts of graphics.
Brandy Chastain with the sports bra celebration.
Yeah.
I just saw somebody else do that over the weekend in women's soccer.
Really?
Yeah, I saw somebody else do the same thing. This might be the winner so far. Mike Tyson biting Evander Holyfield. I don't even know what social media would have been like that night. But
when was that? 97, 98,
yeah,
99,
I think
somewhere
so.
in there?
You're right in that range.
Okay.
Carrie Strug, the final vault, landing on the leg and doing her thing.
Okay.
What about Christian Laettner hitting the shot against Kentucky? It would have been a subsection of Twitter.
Yeah.
But golly.
Yeah.
Families would have been insulted left and right. Roger Clemens throwing his bat at Mike Piazza. These are moments that would have broken sports Twitter.
Yeah.
All-Star game, right? Am I right with that?
No. That was interleague.
Was that World Series? That was game 2 of the World Series.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. Tuck rule.
Oh, for sure.
Doug Flutie's Hail Mary. Aaron in the chat. The Jeter intercept, backhanded flip to get the late Jeremy Giambi. Yeah, that would have. Zebra, though, I like this one. Well, you get what I mean. Nancy Kerrigan.
Oh
my God, Nancy Kerrigan, if Twitter existed.
My
God. The Bartman game?
Oh, yeah, sadly. I mean, his life was already ruined, wasn't it, anyway? And you're like, man.
Buckner's error.
Yeah.
Chamberlain's 100. And Babe Ruth sold to the Yankees.
Oh, man. Wheezy has a great one on Twitter, on our YouTube.
God, the OJ chase?
Yes.
That's number one.
Yeah.
That's number one. That would have broken Twitter 100% completely. I mean, you can get into like your tragic stuff, like Roberto Clemente's.
Yeah.
That would have obviously, and all that. We saw it with Kobe. Talking about
But think about how much would circulate on Twitter about that. The amount of people that went out to the LA freeways with signs or to watch.
Yes.
Now they have cell phones and live videos.
Yes.
And we're getting.
They would have been taking selfies.
Yes.
Literally, no joke. Yep. Would have been taking selfies with the white Bronco behind them.
From 405 to his streets in West LA there, Santa Monica, Beverly Hills, that.
Mark forgot the name, but he's right. It's JT Snow grabbing Dusty Baker's kid, Darren. Randy Johnson and the Seagull. The thing that sucks, and Nancy Kerrigan, this is a very serious thing, and I would never make light of it ever, but I just know somebody would have remixed that thing with her saying, like, why? They would have put it to, like, an old Aha song or something and, like, edited it up. Like, the internet is absolutely undefeated on stuff like this.
Yeah, and sometimes funny, though. A lot of times?
Most times.
Yeah.
Most times it's funny. It's funny where you're like, I don't want anyone to know I'm laughing.
Yeah. I'm like, who thought of that? That's really clever. That's also messed up, but I'm laughing.
Woody Hayes punching a player during a game. Franco Harris, immaculate reception.
Oh, yeah.
At my wife's physical therapy yesterday, there was a man there, the older man, who asked, he goes, let me see, how old are you? And I told him, he goes, you probably won't know. He goes, you know who Franco Harris is? And he didn't know me or anything.
Yeah.
He did, right? And I go, Franco Harris. That's the ravioli in the can, right? That they used to have back in the day. I just watched his face kind of dry.
Yeah.
He goes, no, that's Franco-American. And I'm talking about, I know you're talking about the Steelers. Calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down, Gramps.
Come on, get my jokes.
Come on. I know I know who the guy is. Josh McDaniels.
That's intriguing for the Raiders. That's different.
It is.
Did he learn from Belichick? The good stuff?
Well, didn't Bill Belichick, though, and I don't know if this is an apt comparison or not, because everybody knows Bill Belichick is one of the greatest coaches of all time. But he was 36-44 with the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
That was 5 years.
Yeah.
That's a 450 win percentage.
But when he got a second chance.
It was a lot different. Could Josh McDaniels truly be a disciple of Bill Belichick in every way? He was 11-17 with the Broncos.
Yeah. Well, and I think joining this Raiders, the one thing going against him, they got a brutal division. What he's got going for him, I mean, that's a team that made the playoffs, and they were aggressive. They added a lot of things. Chandler Jones, obviously, we mentioned Devontae Adams. You already have a proven quarterback, may not be the best quarterback in the league, but a proven, known, more than capable, experienced quarterback. They've got a lot of good things.
I 100% agree with you. Chandler Jones and Max Crosby now on that side. I love the Rocky Sin pickup, by the way, and I still think if he can stay healthy, Jonathan Abram can be something. And on that offense, we talked about it. Are they the best core in the league? But Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller.
It's really nice.
And
the weapons are there.
And you got Josh Jacobs, again, healthy-wise. And I know a lot of Raider fans are like, with Josh Jacobs. But Jacobs is a workhorse, dude.
Sure.
And let's remember, Jacobs is a guy who also rushed for over 1,000 yards his first 2 years. Jacobs is a guy who has 28 touchdowns in 3 years. It's not like the greatest, but this is a guy you can hand the ball to, and he's going to average. His averages, yards per carry, 4.8, 3.9, 4.0. He's got a lifetime average of 4.2 yards on 732 carries.
Wow.
Which, if you do the math, why not just give him the ball?
Right.
Three downs, 4-yard average. That's 12 yards, baby.
Moving the chains.
And time of possession. Oh, my goodness.
You're winning.
You might get tired. Yeah. We'll take a break. Let's do a little check on baseball. a little check on baseball, including my San Diego Padres. Or should I say Slam Diego Padres.
Or San Diego Padres.
And a 4-strike out. This actually happened in Major League Baseball. We'll get to it next.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports 1140. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people that play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf.
It's the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa.
Friday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility, and Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality, and Safe Credit Union. Let us put you first.
In a Major League Baseball game, you don't really see this too often. In fact, I don't ever remember seeing this. Yordan Alvarez of the Houston Astros was at the plate, and He struck out, or he didn't strike out. He struck out. He grounded out.
Yeah, ultimately that was how he recorded the out.
The problem is he got 4 strikes.
That's too many.
Now, last I checked in baseball, you're supposed to get 3 strikes and you're out. But here's how the official recount looks. First pitch, curveball for a ball. Second pitch, another curveball. Strike. Looking. Third pitch, slider fouled off. Fourth pitch, changeup. And then a called strike. Wait, what? And then he grounded out, I think, to second base. That's what it was. Yordan Alvarez didn't notice this, or maybe he did. Obviously, you're not going to say that. The pitcher didn't notice. The catcher didn't notice. The umpires didn't notice. It's very, very strange. And as a matter of fact, both broadcasts noticed.
On the radio side.
On the radio side, here's the Astros.
All right, everybody's set now. It's a 1-2 count to Yordan. Rich Hill. The 1-2. Sidearm again. Fastball is a strike. That's strike 3 as Alvarez is down on strikes. He's still standing in the box. That's 3, isn't it?
I thought so. But Jim Wolf doesn't think so. Neither does Yordan. Neither does Rich Hill. So it must be 1-2 now.
All right. Breaking ball pulled on the ground to the right side. First baseman's got it. Dahlbeck shuffles it to the pitcher. Hill covering the bag, and there's 1 away. That was interesting. Yeah. Score that 3-1. There's 1 away.
Even looking at the pitch by pitch here, yeah, that should have been strike 3. That was weird. Okay.
Here's Bregman.
Called strike, fouled off. Called strike. That should have been the end of the inning. But he got 1 more pitch and he grounded it out. Ultimately, thank God. What if he hits a home run?
Right.
Hits a home run in a close game. I mean, I get it. The Red Sox are out of it. What if you're a bettor? What if you're a bettor and he hits a home run? What if you're a bettor and you're betting that the pitcher won't give up a home run? I don't understand how an entire play, the manager.
Yeah. The fielders, nobody was freaking out at all.
Nobody. And how does the entire umpiring crew miss this?
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it. I'm very glad nothing, it ended up being.
Yeah, it was harmless, but you've seen an outfielder catch a ball and like, oh, good, throw the ball in the stands, inning over. No, wait, there were 2 outs. That's one person not keeping track, but to have the whole field not know was
makes
bizarre.
No sense whatsoever. Juan Soto made his debut for the San Diego Padres. He talked first about his relationship with Fernando Tatis.
We have a great relationship even before we were teammates, and we always hope the best to each other. It was a great relationship. I think now it's going to increase, and it's going to be way better. I think it's going to be like a family.
He doesn't lack confidence.
Juan, what do you make of what this lineup could be when everyone's healthy and everyone's in there?
It's going to be really exciting. It's going to be really tough to go through, and I wish good luck to the other pitch.
Logan Webb of the Giants quote tweeted that. I want to say, I think it was Dwight Schrute going, ha, or no, it was Step Brothers, not Will Ferrell. John C. Reilly going, ha ha. Very funny. Yeah, that's a very, very difficult lineup. The Padres made that debut with Juan Soto yesterday, and Fernando Tatis also faced live pitching for the first time a couple days ago.
It's happening.
He's about ready to get on his rehab assignment from that wrist. Soto walked in his first at bat. The bases ended up getting loaded, and then another new acquisition. Certainly wasn't Juan Soto. Brandon Drury kind of under the radar, but he's got a bat.
First pitch on the way to the right-handed hitter is swung on, hit in the air out to left field. Connor Joe's running back, still going back, looking up, gonna go! A grand slam for Drury. First pitch he sees in a Padre uniform.
Yeah, they go on to win 9-1. That's 9-1 over the Rockies, but still, when Tatis comes back, here's in some order. I'm not quite sure what the order will be. But I imagine Jurix and Profar is going to lead off.
Mm-hmm.
They have Soto right now in the 2 spot, followed by Manny Machado, who, by the way, can do this.
Manny skies one to deep left field. Connor Joe is at the wall. This one, gotta go. Manny Machado with his 19th of the year. He's 3 for 3, and the Padres lead it 7-1.
So you're going to go Profar, Soto, Machado, Tatis. Oh, Josh Bell.
Exactly. I feel like he was underreported in that trade.
Way under. Wasn't he an all-star this year, I think? Josh Bell
Yeah,
was.
if not, he's been before.
Yeah, Josh Bell and then Brandon Drury. Just that alone. And they already had a good pitching staff. Here's the thing. I'm going to ask you guys a question here. And I trust you guys to be non-biased, as difficult as it's going to be. Especially, oh wow, hey, we got throw the breaking news on there, would you, Jay? Here in a second. We
Sorry
do
about
have
that.
no, you're absolutely right. Oh my God, we have breaking news out of the world of sports, and it's not great whatsoever. Breaking news right now.
When it breaks, we have it first. Sactown Sports 1140. Breaking news.
Brittney Griner has been sentenced to 9 years in prison, found guilty of drug possession and smuggling after her arrest at a Russian airport for carrying cannabis vape cartridges.
Wow.
9 years in prison. Now, starting gun happens because, and again, we're getting out of sports and into the real world here. There is, and I'm knocking on wood here. I don't want to jinx anything, and I am a believer in all that, but I absolutely cannot imagine whatsoever she serves any formidable portion of that sentence. I think what happens now is this: whatever the hell she just got sentenced to probably came down from a higher power, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
All right. And if you're following along to with all of this, Russia and the U.S. have been negotiating basically a prisoner swap. And Russia is asking for, I believe it's a weapons dealer, and then I think somebody else who happens to be in German custody. That was their offer in exchange for Brittney Griner and another American gentleman who's over there in prison.
Trade.
It is really legitimately like a trade. Now, you're talking about a person that had weed cartridges versus, a weapons dealer, smuggler, whatever it is. It's obviously, but Russia knows, and oh, by the way, Russia and the U.S. aren't exactly friends right now, especially with what's going on in Ukraine. Russia 100% knows that they are 1 trillion% in the catbird seat here. What's the U.S. going to do? Are they going to sanction them? They've already been sanctioning over Ukraine. What's the U.S. going to do? Attack them? No, you're not attacking Russia and starting World War III over Brittney Griner. I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. So what is Russia going to do? Russia's going to sit and say, you know what? You can keep our guys forever. It's fine. We don't have people back at home yammering at Vladimir Putin and threatening to maybe not elect him again. Like, it's Vlad Putin. He's fine. So, hey, Joe, President Biden, your call on what you want to do. And what I would imagine is going to end up happening is one of a couple of many scenarios. Number one, there will be a prisoner exchange. Mm-hmm. And the exchange that happens is going to be far, far, far weighted to the Russian side based on crimes committed and or sanctions temporarily or otherwise lifted. I mean, there's a lot of things Russia can ask for. Brittney Griner sentenced to 9 years. Again, I do not think Brittney Griner will be in prison for 9 years or 5 years or 2 years.
But she's been there since February.
I imagine this thing now that they've established where it's going. And again, just my thoughts here. I think this thing will get wrapped up in the next 30 to 60 days because now things are going to go crazy here. And oh, by the way, a 9-year sentence. They absolutely know we're going to go crazy over here. And why us going crazy, Congress people are going to get called, presidents are going to get called. There's going to be a lot of furor over this here locally. And by locally, I mean domestically. Yeah. So I think this is the start of it getting wrapped up. Listen, there's no way at all to segue out of Brittney Griner being sentenced to 9 years in prison to do a commercial. But we're going to try to do just that because we do at times try to be professional. So there you go. So that being said, much more on that as it comes in, as we hear. In the meantime, 102 degrees today is what at least my weather says. It is hot, and hot. If you're getting a high quote about replacing your HVAC system, or if you feel like it's time to replace your system, contact American Energy. They're your second opinion partner. They're local. They've been doing it since 1981, A+ with the Better Business Bureau. What more credentials do you need? Okay, you want more? Fine, I'll give it to you. They're currently offering a $2,500 rebate with 0%, zero down financing options. That is the best deal out there for a new HVAC equipment installation. Think about that. $2,500 rebate. They're already low prices, 0%, zero down financing available, blah, blah, blah. I mean, come on. At the very least, that's where you want to go. But if you've already got a quote, call them. Call them. Make your home a place of comfort for you and your family. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. That's AmericanEnergyAir.com. And you tell me your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you. All right, we got the news coming up next, including the day of the year that I don't know about, that Jason and Jay promise I'll be happy about. We have celebrity birthdays. No, by the way, I have an answer from earlier in the show because it is National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. I do have, and for me, it's without a question, the best chocolate chip cookie you can get. I'll have the answer for you next.
Live and past broadcasts of the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and Cattles and Rami.
Interviews, podcasts, and more.
They all live on the Sactown Sports 1140 app. Download the app now in the App Store and Google Play.
What's your
Air and Solar, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company and second opinion partner.
Who's hot? San Diego Padres.
Everyone in Sacramento.
Them too.
Yeah.
San Diego Padres undefeated.
My San Diego Padres, baby. Let's go.
Since acquiring Juan Soto in his debut last night. Got a hit.
Yeah.
It was a single, not a home run.
I'm part of the Friar Faithful now.
The Friar Faithful.
The Friar
Interesting.
Faithful. That's right.
Who's not? Dim Giants. Losers of 7 of 10 during the All-Star break. They have also lost 7 straight to the LA Dodgers. Will they make it 8 in a row today?
Nobody cares.
I care.
Nobody.
And I'm somebody.
Nobody cares that isn't a stinking Dodger fan. I'm in trouble with a friend girl of mine.
Because you referred to her as a friend girl.
Well, she is kind of non-denominational when it comes to baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's going with her friend, who is a huge Dodger fan today.
Okay.
So she called me yesterday. She actually FaceTimed me yesterday and said, "Hey, I just want you to know, I know you're a huge Giants fan." And then she puts on a Dodger hat and a jersey that her friend gave her and said, "The only way I could go to the game is if I wear this. And, I don't really care, but I just didn't want you to get offended." And I was like, "I'm not offended at all." I was like, are you okay?" And she goes, "Yeah, I don't care. Why?" And I go, "Seriously, are you okay? Where have you looked at it?" She goes, "What do you mean?" I go, Have you gained weight?"
Oh,
because it looks like you've gained. Wow, it really makes you look like you've gained weight. That is horrible. And obviously, I'm doing a bit here.
Right.
Oh,
didn't go over well.
Oh, certain bits you don't touch.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Don't wear Dodger gear. How about that? How about if you're not a Dodger fan, don't worry. Even if you are a Dodger fan, you should wear Dodger gear. Yes, I'm willing to say Dodger gear makes everybody look like they've gained weight. Therefore, don't wear it. Or, wear it. It's nothing wrong with gaining weight. There's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, be comfortable with your body and all that, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just saying.
Big Shep asks, would you rather wear Dodgers gear or Lakers gear? You got to pick one. I feel like I know what your answer is.
You know what my answer is going to be, but it's like, would you rather get shot in the twig or the berries? You know what I'm saying? With a shotgun. Like, neither's going to feel great. It's going to be Dodger gear.
That's what I thought.
Attaboy,
It's going to be Dodger gear. But it's still going to, like, at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, when all the bad guys lift inside the Ark, that's what it's going to do. Yes, that's what it would do to my skin. If I put Dodger gear on. I mean, I can say from a non-biased point of view, I can say the Dodgers have pretty clean uniforms. Same thing with the Yankees.
Okay.
I think they're clean uniforms.
Can't say that about the Lakers?
No. I think purple and gold's a stupid. I mean, really, I think it's an ugly color, to be honest with you. I don't know. Like blue and white and red, that's American. And I mean, to be honest, let me tell you a little bit of a secret. Here's a secret for you. Then we'll move on to the news and notes. When it comes to pure color schemes, if I didn't know the teams, if I just was pick this color scheme or this color scheme, I would take the Dodgers color scheme over the Giants color scheme. I don't particularly think orange and black is a great combo. News and notes right now. Yeah.
Just in.
Stand by on this frequency. It's time for the news of the day.
Thank you for ruining the show and dropping a steamer on my journalistic integrity.
Today's important headlines, intelligent analysis, hard-hitting interviews.
Yeah, this is none of those things.
Here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Oh my God, I love those guys.
Why does everybody automatically assume if I mention a female other than my wife in my life, it's Katie, Chris? It's not Katie. I would have said Katie. It's not Katie. I would have. Katie would never do that, by the way. Better not do that. Let's see. A couple of things for you here. The Broncos quarterbacks since Peyton Manning are as follows: Simeon, Osweiler, Lynch, Keenan, Bridgewater, Flacco, Allen, Ripp, and Locke, Hinton, and Driscoll. I don't have anything other than I have that list. I now see why they got Russ Wilson.
Yeah.
He's better.
Yes.
29 years ago today, Robin Ventura made a poor decision.
Oh, man.
He made it.
What could go wrong? Let me charge this old man.
I'm going to charge 94-year-old Nolan Ryan.
And get hit 94 times.
And get hit 94 times right in the old noggin. Darren Ravel posted a picture of it, and Nolan Ryan signed it with the inscription, "Don't mess with Texas." According to Ravel, Ventura often will not sign the photo. That would be an interesting collector's item if you could get a Nolan Ryan and Robin Ventura's combined signed photo. But I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all.
Nope.
We talked about Vin Scully at length yesterday. We could spend the next month on Vin Scully, and it would not be enough. But I thought this number was quite interesting. Major League Baseball has been around a long time. Some games televised, many not televised. Many occurred before TV was even invented. Out of all the games that have ever been played in Major League Baseball, Vin Scully has called 4% of them.
When you think about like the sheer number of games over 100+ years,
that's just so stupid, dude. 4%. So we get to the days of the week before celebrity birthdays. We did have a conversation earlier about today's National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day, and I was having trouble. Somebody on the chat line said it earlier, and they're 1 trillion billion % right. The best chocolate chip cookies, other than homemade, of course, are the DoubleTree chocolate chip cookies. When you check into the hotel, and they pull them out of the little heater.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I don't think I've seriously. I don't know, over under 12, 13 times I've stayed at a DoubleTree lifetime. I don't think I've ever made it to my room with the cookie.
Oh, really?
And I also may or may not have been guilty of saying, hey,
I didn't get a cookie.
My kids are upstairs. Would I be able to get a couple for them when I'm by myself? Is that bad?
No.
Well, then I don't want to be good. You guys said that I would, I said I didn't want to waste Chocolate Chip Cookie Day and save that for the news. You said no. What is the day that is today that could be even more interesting than National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day?
National Boobs Day.
Is that true?
Yep.
So Jay told me.
Look it up.
What what do they mean by national boob? Does that mean like people that are just not great people? Like you're a boob.
That's not used enough.
I don't think that's what they're
Does
using
anybody
it for.
do that anymore?
No.
Okay, well apparently August 2nd was National Boobs Day.
Not according to Twitter.
Really?
Which is never wrong.
Is it Boobs Day? Is it Boob Appreciation Day?
Don't cover your mouth.
Sorry. I want so badly to talk about this, but I also don't want to get in trouble. So let me just say this. I enjoy them all. Man.
Oh.
Woman. Anything.
You're just pro boobs.
You know, I call them life givers sometimes because let's be honest, in many cases, right? It is the popsicle of life.
Wow.
It also
or ice cream esque or anything.
You know what? Let's just. Could you make ice cream out of breast milk? Would that work? Not
Can't
that
see
I
why
want
it
to
wouldn't.
eat it, but would that work? I wonder if it's
I'm
got the
sure.
right consistency to do that. And if so, could that ever be like? What if that was? Everybody has health crazes and stuff. Could breast milk ice cream be a health craze because it gives life and stuff and feeds babies?
Again, I can't understand why it wouldn't.
Would you try Rocky Road or whatever your favorite flavor is breast milk? And it's random breast. You don't know where it's from.
See if it's random. No.
Well, who? Okay, never mind.
Boob and Jerry's.
Really?
Yeah. I'm picturing the carton.
Today is also National Coast Guard Day.
Oh.
Shout out to my 2 nephews who are serving in the Coast Guard, both currently stationed in Kodiak, Alaska.
Oh, wow.
My brother just got back from with my sister-in-law.
You wish you were there.
I really do. Oh, my goodness. They said the fishing was amazing. Celebrity birthdays, Jason Ross.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, that's all set.
That's it. Happy birthday today on this, August 4th?
August 4th.
To the 44th president. Barack Obama is turning what today? Was our youngest president, wasn't he?
Barack Obama. No, I think that was JFK.
Oh, you're right.
Barack Obama. I almost said it like Barack Obama. Barack Obama is 60.
Let's say 62.
Split the difference.
61?
61
Son of a.
for Barrick. Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh, God. Billy Bob Thornton,
Like
who...
them taters.
Right. Has anybody ever looked differently than they did from Sling Blade to everything else? What an amazing performance for Billy Bob, who I think is older than I think. I'll say 72.
I was going to say 73.
Okay, he is 67.
Hey!
Let's see if we can get a few more in here quickly. Sacramento's own Greta Gerwig
is 30 even.
She's 40.
39. Roger Clemens, the Rocket.
Roger Clemens is 60.
Roger Clemens is 55.
Roger Clemens is 60.
Oh, wow! The news!
There's more, but I think you would like to end on that.
I would like to end on that. I win! Ah! Dave, these win. Tomorrow's Friday, and with Jason back, and all of us in studio.
I have 2 new games, but only one will show up tomorrow.
Friday Fun and Games is happening. Jim Rome is next. Don't forget, Sactown Sports 1140 has the Raiders and Jaguars. Take it easy. Have a great day. Jim Rome is next. Oh, my goodness. Bye-bye now.
Check out the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars in the Hall of Fame game.